Hi guys, welcome to the show. No intro because I forgot to put it in. So what I'm going to do very quickly, if you don't mind, is I'm going to play the intro and then we'll get going. All right, see you in a minute.
White shirts on the pitch, running fast through the night. Every heart beating loud under floodlit sky bright. So to London stand strong, in the stands they belong. Voices echo like thunder, to the club they sing along. Up in Spurs we arise, eyes on the prize. Victory in sight with all our might. King's fire in his eyes, glory's what he seeks. With every goal he flies, rising to new peaks. From the lake to far and wide, with the pride of the fight. On this journey we'll ride, with our passion burning bright. Up in Spurs we arise, eyes on the prize. Victory in sight with all our might. From the lane to far and wide, with the pride of the fight. On this journey we'll ride, with our passion burning bright. Up in Spurs we arise, eyes on the prize. Victory in sight with all our might. With all our might. With all our might.
And I'm on mute and I'm just made. See, I keep doing this every time. I keep coming on full of thosto, full of energy, and I'm muted. It's just
Oh man,
it's just
you
me.
know,
It's just me. But anyway,
what's funny is something like that always happens, man. It never when in doubt, always always expects like some little minute detail to trip you up.
Now I've got to jump out because my camera has stopped working. So I am gonna mute myself. You can still hear me. But my camera is stopped working on my OBS for some reason. I do not know why. So what I've got to do is remove that. But look, we're gonna go through the lineup. What do you think to the lineup? First of all, Steve, what do you reckon to it? You're happy with it, I take it.
I am. Yeah, no, I am. And the reason why I'm happy with this lineup is because Ange Postecoglou, just like his lineup versus Chelsea, understands the gravity of the situation. That yes, obviously, the tournament in which they're going to put all their attention to is Europa. But that being said, he can't take his eye off the remaining schedule of the Premier League season. So he has to put his best foot forward, put out the best possible lineups, and deal with Europa League when they actually get to it. But that being said, I understand people are upset about Brendan Johnson. But that being said, you have to put I think the guy's got 14 goals on the season, right? So he's trying to put the best possible lineup that is to produce goals against a defense that's not really all that great. The only thing that I had a big problem was with the inclusion of Sonny in the starting 11. Go ahead.
Cutting in and out there a little bit.
Interesting. The only issue that I have is with Sonny's inclusion into the 11. I don't think he's necessarily earned his inclusion, which I would have preferred Wilson Odegaard, but it is what it is. He's going for the 3 points today.
Yeah, I would have preferred Odegaard myself as well. You know that.
Yeah.
But look, it is what it is. I think it's not a bad lineup. We do have Wayne Bonner. The big one of those streams, is it? It's going to be one of those streams, I think.
Yeah, and by
could
the
be my
way,
internet playing up. I think
yeah,
it
no,
might be.
yeah, I think it
Wi-Fi
is.
speed.
I do believe that it probably is yours.
I don't normally have any problems with my Wi-Fi. Never do.
Yeah, I hear you. Neither do I.
And it worked fine with Dave this morning.
Sure,
Funnily enough.
Sure. Here's the thing, right? I understand the sentiment towards Brendan Johnson. I feel it. But that being said, you also have to give him game time as well, too. You would probably assume that Odegaard is going to be playing a huge role come Thursday.
Yeah. I would say so. I would say so. And that big up to Wayne. If you can hear me, man, big up to Wayne. He's got Wayne. Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're all well. I'm pumped for the game. Should be an easy 3 points today, but this is Spurs. We're laughing emojis. Wayne's also said, good lineup. But Johnson is still dog shit. I agree with you there. And he says, I still like to see Odegaard and Tell get a good run together in and out of the game. So would I, actually. I think Odegaard and Tell will make a better thing. Yeah, it is my internet. It is running low for some reason.
Yeah.
Not normally doing that. Give me 2 minutes. You may have to take the reins of the channel.
Yeah,
the teams are out. The lineups are out.
Yep.
Just give us 2 minutes. I just need to go and change my internet provider. I've got 2 boxes. I need to change from one box to another. Give us 2 minutes. You mind taking the reins for a minute, Steve?
Absolutely.
Just take the give me 2 minutes and I will be back.
Yep. I think the reason why you haven't seen Matisse Tell quite a bit is there is that issue with training where he was lagging in training. One of the things that Ange Postecoglou definitely demands of his players is 100% effort. And when those reports came out, I probably would assume from that point that Matisse Tell had to earn his way back into Ange's good graces, which is probably why we haven't seen a lot of Matisse Tell at this point since when he first came over. That being said, also, where does he fit on the front line? I don't know how you guys feel, but I don't think Matisse Tell is really all that great of a winger. Yes, he can play both right and left, but to be honest with you, he doesn't play either all that well. If it were me that was making this decision, I would have included Mikey Moore in this 11. I thought that this would be a perfect game to get a guy like Mikey Moore some run, maybe even a little bit of an Archie Gray. And who knows, maybe we will see Archie Gray at some point later this afternoon. But that being said, overall, I like this. I like the starting 11. I like the fact that Jed Spence is continuing to get run, and I actually think that he's actually a better fit on the left side for Sonny as far as build-up play when they're moving up the left, moving up the left flank. I think he gives Sonny a little bit better cover than that of Destiny Udogie. The biggest problem on the right side is Pedro Porro. Make no mistake, I like Pedro Porro, and I think he's probably one of the best right backs in the league. The problem is, in an Ange Postecoglou system, you do need cover from your right wing, and that's my biggest problem with Brendan Johnson. Is he does not track back. He does not give Pedro Porro that type of cover, clearing up space for them to pick up that for him to pick up that runner, leaving Pedro Porro completely on an island. So we're about ready to kick this thing off from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. That being said, I'm curious to see how you guys feel about this, because I actually predicted a 3-0, 3-1 victory today. I just don't think Southampton is. I just don't think they're really that great. I know they got that result against Crystal Palace, but at the end of the day, it's Crystal Palace, and I do think that we have enough creativity and firepower in order to get this one. And so as we watch this one coming down, and here's James Maddison off the left right now, trying to play it in 1v1, and that gets kicked out of bounds. So in my predicted lineup, I actually had Odegaard on the left and Mikey Moore on the right. playing with Dominic Solanke. I think just those two, those young hungry wingers, were going to give them the appropriate amount of service along with Pedro Porro. But obviously, Ange Postecoglou decided that he's not going to do that. Spurs are continuing in possession as they're trying to cycle this one around. And now it's at the feet of Romero, who tries to play it over to the right. Here's Pedro Porro. Tried to play it forward, and he's got a guy in the box. There you go. Ooh, and Solanke was Solanke was calling for the penalty, but that was a nice little ball over the top right there, in a dangerous position. Spurs retain, as they're trying to push this one up. They retain possession. And it looks like they are hungry. They are searching for that early goal. Here's Jed Spence off the left, 1v1. Cuts in. There's nobody there running. Out. Oh, there you go. And I wouldn't say that's a good ball in the box, but it is what it is.
Hopefully that has now fixed the problem, hopefully.
So far, we're seeing a lot of attacking down the left-hand side, which is what I like to see. I made the claim that Jed Spence is better for Sonny on the left-hand side. And so far, we're starting to see those combinations kind of develop on the left-hand side between Sonny, Jed Spence, and James Maddison.
Oh, that's better.
Nice little ball in the box.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, unlucky.
Ooh. Southampton clears.
Yeah. My internet's really playing up today, big time.
It's all right, man. I'll if you need it, I'm here for you, so don't worry about it.
I know. It's just really annoying. My camera's frozen and everything. Like, everything is just going. It's not going my way today. It really isn't. It really isn't. So I'm going to stick you there. I'll let you take over. I'm going to try to fix out my problems. I do have a scoreboard running, guys, as you can see. Well, it's just one of them streams, isn't it? We haven't started badly, have we? Really?
No. As a matter of fact, they're playing well up the left-hand side. They are making an emphasis to try to get Solanke involved early. As we've seen, they've actually put a couple nice balls into the box so far.
Yeah. I'm going to try to sort out my camera again. So just give us 2 minutes. But Steve, thank you so much for taking the commentary over, man. You're doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, absolutely. As Bergvall lays it off to Brendan Johnson, who puts it back to Pedro Porro. As the Spurs are trying to attack up the right-hand side, there's a ball in. And that's just a little bit over the head there. As we like to welcome Gitsy 9T4. Good afternoon to you as well, too. Quick question for you, Gitsy. How do you see this game playing out? Do you think this is going to be a comfortable Spurs win? How do you feel about the lineup? As that ball was intended for James Maddison, as that ball went completely over his head. As Bergvall came in, trying to get that ball back, and instead ends up committing a foul right there. So it will be a Southampton free kick. Ange Postecoglou under a little bit of pressure, although that seems to be a little bit an understatement after the performance against Chelsea and the whole cupping of the ears debacle. But that being said, massive demonstration outside of N17 today. So there's a lot riding on this one. And one of the things Spurs absolutely needed to do was start quick, control the pace, dictate the terms on their time, dictate the terms of this match on their terms, get an early goal, get the crowd behind you. And of course, winning cures all. And Gitsy says it should be a comfortable win, but we all know that's not how we operate. Yeah, well, it's time to actually operate in a different manner. And I would definitely agree with you. Spurs just seem to concede to their opponents when it comes to aggression or motivation, things like that. They tend to play matches on their opponent's terms, and this is a good opportunity for Spurs to just dominate. That's what I want to see. Confidence and domination today, and they have a very good opponent in which to do it.
Yeah, and if they lose Southampton, they go down. So it's a great incentive, I suppose, for them.
Yeah.
They don't want to go down, so they're going to be fighting to stay up as well. But we have started really well. But we seem to start games well too, but we end up petering off. We always get one good half and then one bad second half. But here's Brennan Johnson now on the wing. Johnson, look at the get across in. He doesn't good defending that was from Southampton.
Good
Johnson still with the ball. Johnson,
good hustle back to the ball.
Yeah. Big up KC. My predictions 2-0. Get the clean sheet. Exactly.
100%. 100%. I actually like Brendan Johnson's hustle there.
Yeah. Here, look.
And it looked like he was actually aggressive there.
I do.
Going 1v1 against his defender.
Trying to put. Yeah. They're trying to put a performance in for Ange, I think. I think this is every time there's pressure on Ange, they always step it up. They're always, and it probably is that 100%. He hasn't lost the dressing room. It's like an enclave, not an enclave, but it's sort of like an inner circle. We're all together in this. We're all going to get together. Yeah. Big up to the 280 of you that are watching on YouTube and X as well. Big up to all the people in our X world. Do hit the follow button. Do hit the follow button for Stateside Footy as well. Our new sister American channel, which I'm absolutely delighted more about that halftime. We will be making that announcement, and my internet is going crazy. It really is.
Yeah, you know by the way, speaking of that, we're now over 200 followers. So I want to thank those that are helping build out the channel. When you help, there was a nice little shot that was deflected right there. But when you build out my channel, you're also helping Derma as well too, building out his channel. So we're all in this together, and I do want to thank the Spurs community for showing some love.
Yeah, it was a lovely build up there. A lovely cross there from Sonny, and there was Johnson. Oh, nearly.
And that's what you want.
Southampton defense looks very open.
Oh, 100%. But this is exactly what you wanted to see. You wanted to see ambition and bravery from both sides of the wings, and we're getting that.
Yeah. Look, I'm going to have to come out here, Steve. My internet's jumping all over the place, and it's not fair on you, man. So if you don't mind taking control, I'll do the background stuff. But I'm going to try to sort out my internet, and I will be back as soon as I can. I'm sorry about this. This is not fair on you. Thank you. Thank you.
It happens. And Derma, just go ahead and take as much time as you need. Gitsy 9T4 chat says he's making a prediction of 2-0 with a clean sheet. Yeah, I had it 3-0. You and I are pretty much on the same page here. It's going to be a Spurs corner. There's the ball in. Oh, I thought it was nearly 1-0 right there. It looked like they got a clean head on it. Turns out it was deflected, but Spurs retain possession. As they're going to play this down the left side. Oh, man, he had an overlap and run too. Would have liked to see him hit the overlap right there. As they're going to try to play this in. They'll play it back. And Sunday will play it out wide to Brendan Johnson. Johnson kicks it in right there. Bergvall. And it looked like that will be deflected and out for a corner. Spurs are being aggressive. They're hunting for that first goal. I like it. I like the bravery shown. They're not, they are not relenting to Southampton. As a matter of fact, that corner nearly went in right there by Romero. He got a good head on that one. Just deflected right there at the last moment. Here's the ball in. Oy. That's going to be played back to Jed Spence. Spurs will reset. They tried to play it over the top, but fell a little short. But look at that. Good hustle. Good hustle by Pedro Porro to retain possession. Here's Bergvall. There you go. Nice little Played it nice and into Bergvall. He's there. Oh, good run by Bergvall. And that's just something that we were lacking against Chelsea. Something we were lacking against Fulham. Somebody who's going to be brave enough to make those inside forward runs. And that was a nice little touch right there by Brendan Johnson to spring him. That's looks like Southampton will try to reset as they're going to try to play this forward. There's the switch to the right side. Ball across, back post. Oh, nice. Nice deflection. Spurs try to clear. Deflected. Southampton still pressing. Ball across. Deflected out. Ooh. The Southampton will reset. Attacking down the right wing. 1v1. Lays it off. As they work it all the way to the left side now. Oh, nice ball in right there. There's Vicario. Ooh. Good defensive awareness right there by Spurs. That was a good ball in, though. Heads up play by Vicario to close that down. That was a nice play on the back post, by the way. That easily could have been 1-0 Southampton, but there's Pedro Porro. Here we go. Around the corner. In the box. Go! Yeah, how do you like that, baby? Brendan Johnson. Brendan freaking Johnson puts Spurs ahead 1-0 in the 12th minute. Great, that was absolutely beautiful. As they played that down the left-hand wing, gets around the corner, nice little weighted pass into the box. And it's 1-0. That's a beautiful counterattack right there, and it looks like it starts with James Maddison, who played this over to the left, and it was Sonny who laid it off. Such a great weighted pass right there to put that ball in the box. Brendan Johnson there with the finish. Beautiful. And that was Jed Spence who laid that one off too. Absolutely beautiful. Starts with James Maddison playing it forward. Jed Spence with the overlap. Brendan Johnson with the finish. And it's 1-0 Spurs. This is exactly what I was talking about. 100%. Set the tone early. Dictate the terms of this match on your own. Force Southampton into mistakes. And sure enough, they did exactly that. And this is exactly what this is the reaction that you want to see after two straight coming off the heels of 2 straight losses to Fulham and Chelsea. And here we are now, up 1-0 against a team that badly needs a win to stay up. And it looks like Spurs will sink Southampton. I understand we're still early in this one, but still, great way to start. And now Manning will sit over a free kick for Southampton. We're in the 14th minute here. And here's the ball in. Good deflection right there, but it goes back post. Oh, there's a good deflection. Ooh, that ball ping-pongs, but it goes out. And it'll be a Spurs goal kick. Yeah, there you go. For all you Brendan Johnson lovers out there. That was a nice little way on the overlap right there. And Brendan Johnson stands right in front of it and delivers a nice goal. Southampton will control possession here. Spurs with a nice little press. As they are trying to keep Southampton out of rhythm as they switch it over to the left. There's look at Bergvall. Spurs came pumped today, man. This is exactly what you wanted to see. And it looks like that ball gets out for a Spurs throw-in. And this will go all the way down to Romero. He plays it over to Porro. Up the right-hand side. And he'll play that up to Brennan Johnson. Nice little touch as he turns the corner. Plays it forward to Bergvall. Oh. And that's where the turnover will be. But as soon as I say that, here comes Spurs with the turnover of their own. And they're going to try to play this centrally. And there is the whistle as James Madison is rolling around on the ground like he just got shot in the foot. Get up, James. Rub a little dirt on it and get back out there. So it'll be a free kick from an advantageous position here for Spurs. For those that are tuning in and wondering why you're seeing my face and not the legend himself, Dermatron, he is dealing with some internet issues at the point. He will be back in just a few moments as he sorts it out. Please remember to hit the like and subscribe. And of course, you also send in your super chats as well, too. We'll definitely handle those as this match continues to roll along. I definitely want to thank all those that are tuning into the chat, also on YouTube and Twitter. There's the ball over the top, and that's going to get deflected. And they'll try to play this forward. Yep. And there's Dermatron right there in the chat, who is apologizing. His internet has crashed as he tries to get everything sorted out. But Spurs will continue with possession. Here's Pedro Porro down the right side, who's going to try to play it forward to Solanke. Oh, look at Bergvall. Look at Bergvall. Here's Porro stepping in front of it. And there's going to be a whistle right there on Kamaldeen. You're welcome, Dermot. Spurs will get another opportunity. Deep in Southampton's territory. Can Spurs make it two? Let this momentum continue to build. Let's get four today, boys. Let's put Southampton to the sword. As Pedro Porro sits in front of this one. Here's the ball in. Back post. Tipped away by Ramsdale. And it'll go out for a Spurs throw-in. As Spurs continue to ratchet up the pressure on Southampton. Can they pop in a second goal here? As they will switch the throw. The final score will be at 10 GMT tomorrow night. Okay. As Brennan Johnson tries to put one in, that gets deflected out by Manning, and it will be a Spurs corner. But that being said, we have the watch along today, and I believe we'll have a little bit of a post-match as Madison tried to play one in. Spurs retain possession as they're going to try to play this one up the left. Here's Sonny. Wide left. 1v2, plays it in. Here's James Madison. Pedro Porro. Out to Brennan Johnson. Puts one in, deflected out. So we'll definitely have all that. Yep, boys from America, baby. All day long. From James Joris. Good to have you along. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons. The more likes we get, the better it is for this channel in the algorithm. You gotta let the algorithms do what they do. Here's the corner. Ball in. as that lands down at Southampton. But here's Sonny trying to. Ooh. And looks like there's going to be a whistle for a handball right there. But anyway, Spurs with the pressure here. First 20 minutes, but it's been all Spurs possession shots, and of course the goal that has them up 1-0. And there's Tyler Dibbling, potential future Spur. Yeah, I probably would say so. For those that are tuning in and wondering where Dermatron is, he will be jumping back as soon as his internet is sorted out. Hopefully, it won't be too much longer because he's missing out, man. This has been an entertaining 20 minutes. As Ramsdale will boot this one down, and it'll rest at the feet of Jed Spence, who plays it a little forward. There we go. Here comes Jed Spence trying to run down the left-hand flank. There will be a whistle right there, and it looks like it probably would be on Tyler Dibbling. Future Spur, we will find out. As Romero played it back to Vicario. Here's Ben Davis, back to Vicario. There you go. Southampton is trying to put Spurs in the corner. They do force the turnover right there. Southampton will set up their attack. Spurs on the press, trying to work it down the right-hand side. There's the overlapper, but they play it back. Southampton is trying to set up their attack. Come on, you Spurs. How about Lucas Bergvall? That dude is hustling. He is all hustle. That's a nice little 1-2 right there. The Southampton retains possession, but there's the turnover right there. And Spurs will start their attack again. They've been patient, man, on the defensive side. I will give them that. They're not rushing. They're taking their time. Porro pays one forward to Solanke. That ball goes out of bounds. It'll be a Spurs throw-in. Maybe Ramsdale was a little bit under pressure there, but can't really give the ball away at that high up the pitch. So, here's Pedro Porro trying to play it forward. Here's Brennan Johnson, who overran it. Gets his own game. How about that? Look at Brennan Johnson. Hustle back to retrieve the ball. That's very un-Brennan Johnson-like right there. Usually he gives up. Here's Bergvall playing it forward. Oh, good defense right there. Southampton closed it up as quick as it opened. Nice opportunity right there. Here's Bergvall trying to on the steal. No whistle. As now Southampton will try to catch Spurs out. And there's a whistle right there on Pedro Porro. 25 minutes in, it's been all Tottenham. This is exactly the response everybody was looking for. Get the crowd into it early. And make Southampton pay. Coming in that Southampton is on the brink of relegation. We know that Southampton's defense is not organized. It doesn't necessarily have that top end talent. And this was an opportunity for Spurs, attack that has actually been lackluster, to say the least. But it was an opportunity for them to take advantage, catch Southampton out. And Spurs have been absolutely aggressive from the first whistle. Am I a professional sports commentator? I have done it in the past, yes. Long history of radio. Dan Davenport says, hi, American Steve. And I'm going to guess you're from the UK, so how are you doing, UK Dan? As James Madison tried to turn and go forward, but he was held up right there, and that will be a whistle again on Oguchukwu. I saw you on Dave and Jack's channel, Steve, the other day. Oh, that's awesome, man. Thanks. Yeah. I have a tremendous amount of respect for Dave and Jack. I think those guys are absolutely phenomenal. And if you haven't already, go ahead and show them some love by giving it a like and subscribe as well too. We're all good friends, so definitely. And it was an absolute pleasure. I was absolutely grateful to be able to go on, not only on Friday, but also this morning as well too. You are from the UK, but I have a foster family in San Jose, California. Nice. Love San Jose. I am originally from Seattle, Washington, but now reside here in the great state of Michigan. So I have a lot of love for San Jose. Had some friends that actually played for their hockey team back in the day. So go Sharks. Spurs right now controlling the tempo as Pedro Porro put one on. Actually hit Romero perfectly on a dime. But that ball went straight into Aaron Ramsdale's face, and now he's dealing with some issues down on the ground. He took a shot point blank from Cody Romero on the at the back post right there. That was a good save from Ramsdale, but he literally took one right off the face. And now physios are out there to attend to him. So tell me, I'm curious about how you guys feel about Spurs so far through the first 25 minutes. Me personally, I think this is the best Spurs have looked like in weeks. They're not tentative. They're very aggressive. They're going after it. They're trying things. They're being ambitious in their attack. This is exactly what we've wanted to see. Yeah. Ramsdale should be getting an earful from behind the goal. Yeah, you think? Yeah, I mean, he's at the south end right there. So, yeah, I would assume he is. But that was a good run from Cody Romero, man, to get on the end of that ball. But it also was a dime from Pedro Porro, something that we actually missed last week against Chelsea. By the way, James George says, haha, save with the face. Yeah, completely. That's one way of getting your head in the game. Wink, wink. And still has to go. He is a dreadful manager in the Prem this season. Listen, man, so here's the thing. There's more than one thing that goes into a team's success and a team's failure, and it all doesn't reside at the feet of the manager. Now, clearly, there are some instances in which, yes, you can blame the manager, but that being said, the manager doesn't put together the team. And so you also have to look at that as well, too. And this isn't just an Ange Postecoglou thing. This was a Conte problem. This was a Mourinho problem. This was a Pochettino problem. So it is not just some isolated incident. Has this been a bad season? Without a doubt. I don't think you can say anything otherwise. It looks like there's a whistle right there on Archer. But that being said, it's not all on Ange Postecoglou, and I think it's kind of lazy when fans do put everything on Ange Postecoglou. But here's Lucas Bergvall, who's going to play it over to Ben Davis. It's Southampton, to be fair. If we didn't show up for this, it would have been sad. Yeah. I tend to agree. As that ball gets kicked out on the touchline, yeah, but wouldn't you, Dan? Wouldn't you pick fights with fans as well too? Now here's the thing, right? So think about Ange and the struggles that he had, and this goes back to last season as well too. Every single week being second guessed by fans who telling you that you're not able to do it, you're in over your head, et cetera, et cetera. But then you have the pressure from the media, and then you have the pressure from your bosses, which by the way, Ange Postecoglou takes cover from week in and week out. And then you go into training every single day, every single week. There's only so much you can do at the very end. It's down to the players to execute. They don't, and the fans, instead of actually calling it like it is, they want to take pot shots. And you know what? Ange did what he did. The only thing I didn't appreciate was the fact that if you are going to do something like that, at least in the post game, keep it real. Don't insult the intelligence of the fans. But I will say this, that from James Joris, he wants to know what the thoughts on the big protests outside the stadium today. I like it. I definitely understand why fans are protesting, but here's the reality, right? If the end goal is Levy out and Enoch out, okay? If that's the end goal, then why do you continue to buy tickets and showing up? Why do you pay those prices? Why do you pay the prices to park? Why do you pay the prices for merchandise and concessions, right? because all of that's going into ENIC's pocket. The way to protest is to not show up and force them to play in an empty stadium. That will send a message. And Vicario boots one up here. And that goes all the way down. Here's Sonny trying to get the ball out. Ball goes out. But I like the protest. But you guys have to understand that it's weird for me because I recognize the things that Daniel Levy and ENIC has done for this club. When they bought him, this team was like this team when ENIC bought the team, this was a mid-table to lower mid-table team when he bought him, winning the occasional cup. And when you look at what he's been able to build and turn this into a top 4 team with one of the best stadiums in Europe, if not the best stadium in Europe, an absolute gorgeous training pitch, and the franchise value and the franchise valuation that will see them netting close to $5 billion in a sale. That's on the one hand. On the other hand, Daniel Levy can't keep his hands out of football operations, and I think that's quite obvious into how this team has been run. This team has continuously spun its wheels for the last 5 years. It has no direction. It has no vision, and everybody just and it just seems that not only with the club but also the fans, it seems like we're not pulling in the same direction, and that's obvious. Let's see. Agreed, but it's not showing up has consequences. Yeah, it does. It sent the right message. Let's see. I hope the protest went well. The quicker Levy and Ange go, the better. I'm a Man United fan, and I feel the same way. You still have to turn up because if you don't, someone else will. Yeah. Yo, Tequila. No, Derma's not on holiday. He's having issues, and there's also another Tottenham goal right there. So there you go. Getting caught up in this whole in the whole protest. There's also a beautiful goal right there as we're going to take a look at the replay right here. Spurs now up 2-0, and it was off the free kick of Pedro Porro, who puts one on. Completely onside. As that goes right down to the foot of Lucas Bergvall. Boom. There you go. Yeah, Derma's not sick. Derma's not doing anything except trying to get his internet better. Apparently something happened where it crashed. So he will be back very quickly as he gets things sorted out. I agree as well. As a chairman, he's been amazing, but we as a football club, we are a football club and the product is not acceptable 100%. It isn't acceptable. But that being said, though, I want to take you guys back to as VAR is checking this goal, and it looks like everybody was onside here. But I absolutely hate VAR. I absolutely hate VAR. By the way, it looked like everybody was onside. As we are waiting for the decision. But here's the I want to guys take you guys back to prior to Pochettino, when we did have Gareth Bale and we did have Luka Modric, and you have this young coach coming from Southampton who probably is looking to build a team around Bale, Modric, and Harry Kane, and you chop his knees off. Before he has an opportunity to work with them. But then he does the unthinkable and still is able to build a quality team that gets to the heights to the Champions League final. And instead of bringing in the necessary pieces, what happens? They do absolutely nothing in the summer transfer window. The team starts off slow and they sack him. And instead of acknowledging the fact that maybe we were the problem by not giving him the final missing pieces to the puzzle, they bring in Jose Mourinho, who flat out says that his team is soft. And Daniel Levy still does not capitalize on the momentum of what a guy like Mourinho what a guy like Mourinho brings to your club, and then you sack him. So this has been a revolving door, and the key component here is Daniel Levy, and the fact that Daniel Levy continues to meddle in the affairs of the football operations. See, here's the thing: I know that Johan Lang is not a good director of football operations, but I would love for Daniel Levy to get out of the way and try to let him build his vision. If it fails, it fails. Okay, fine, but at least you're going to know definitively, and that's the problem. The only guy who's been able to tell Daniel Levy to shut the hell up has been Paratici, and look how good this team was when they let Paratici just build. It's been like a small little isolation where Spurs have actually looked good from the director of football operations on down all the way down. It says, let's see, Steve, do you know Elon Musk's father is a Liverpool fan? Doesn't surprise me. Yeah, which is why our biggest pickup will have to be Paratici, 100%. 100%. And that should already happen. That should already be happening. The wheels should already be turning for that. So as soon as the season ends, you can name Paratici. You can let go of Johan Lang. Actually, Johan Lang should be gone right now. Like, there's no reason why you can't let him go right now. Paratici is going to be AC Milan's director of football. I don't think so. Conte told Levy to get bent as well. Yeah. He sure did. He sure did. As we are still waiting for the VAR decision, I heard there was some lawsuit that's going to prevent AC Milan from bringing him in. So, and it sounds like Daniel Levy's having a full court press. And by the way, the goal has been disallowed. See, this is. And now here's the worst part about this is now you take Spurs out of rhythm because that's the thing. It's either onside or it's not, right? You can see that. You can easily see whether or not it's onside or not. It does not need to take 6 minutes, but also by doing that, you take Spurs out of rhythm. And by the way, he was onside. Paratici to Milan is off the table right now. So now the game is finally resumed. And by the way, that's the problem with VAR. It's like it's there to get it right, not to get it wrong. And by the way, I didn't see anybody offside. The Spurs regain possession back as they try to play one in. That's just a little too far as it gets out for a goal kick. Yeah, and there's Derma right there saying VAR needs to go. The idea is to clean up the human error element. But that being said, if the head ref doesn't, if the side judge doesn't hold up his flag, there's no offsides because apparently they didn't see it. So you don't need to go and recheck a decision that wasn't made on the field. That's what bugs me, right? You're overturning decisions that don't need to be overturned. Ooh, and there's Macario. Yeah, gets you 100%. We probably won't lose this one. These guys, one of the few teams that are worse than us. Yeah, I completely agree. And I also want to see the mentality of the Spurs team having that setback. How do they respond to that setback? It's the little victories within inside a match that actually matter. It's the mentality. Do they allow themselves to get out of rhythm, or do they just shake this off? Enjoy this match. It won't get easier than this. I think you're probably right, Tequila. By the way, what kind of tequila are you drinking this morning, bud? You drinking a Reposado and Añejo? What are you drinking? As Spurs will restart as the thing gets switched over to the left. As they play this forward to Sonny. Off the left side, 1v1. He's got Madison as an outlet. Here's Jed Spence. As they got to play this back down to Ben Davis. Here's Cudi Romero. As Spurs are going to start to recycle. But here's Southampton coming on a press. That's a nice little ball up the right-hand side. Here's Brennan Johnson. Back to Porro. You think Tequila's drinking a tequila sunrise? I'll go a next step further. He's drinking a tequila sunrise while listening to Tequila Sunrise. There you go. Can't have alcohol anymore due to my illness, I'm afraid. Can't even have a soda. Oh yeah, I hear you, man. I don't. I'm not big on alcohol anymore these days. As here's looks like Brennan Johnson tried to put one in the box right there, but it's going to drop to a spur. Oh! Was that Brendan Johnson again? Yes, it was. Yeah, and by the way, like Brendan Johnson is prone to have these type of games where he just comes out of nowhere to score a brace. But there it is right there. As the ball goes up, the ball gets popped up and it comes right back down. And then it's headed to a running Brendan Johnson into the box who's there to clean it up. Very, 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 very good goal. And instead of it being 3-0, now it's back to 2-0. That was a nice little layoff. As that ball gets deflected, it gets pinged in the air, and it looks like it was coming down to Solanke, who gets wrestled to the ground. But it looks like it's James Madison who just heads it forward, and there's Brendan Johnson, who just tucks it away. Good goal. I haven't seen the Eagles I've seen the Eagles in concert twice in Birmingham, UK. Yeah, I saw the Eagles. Eagles are my favorite band of all time, and there's no debate. But that being said, I saw them live a few times back in 2012 and 2014. They were always a good concert. Johnson is a farmer who scores against weak teams. Yeah, I think I kind of agree with that one. And Gitsy says alcohol sucks anyways. Yeah, I saw Tina Turner at the old Wembley. That must have been a really good concert. The thing about this is not to get too in deep. My brother is an alcoholic, and when you watch somebody's life just completely crumble, it makes you. It doesn't want to make me turn to alcohol. It makes me want to turn away from it. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I don't like to drink a lot. But that being said, for those that are dealing with alcohol issues, I wish you guys the best, and hopefully you guys can overcome that. But anyway, Tina Turner at Wembley, that would have been great. Here's Vicario playing it off to the right. Here's Romero, but to Vicario. Yeah, I will say that. Yeah, it is crazy that Johnson is our top scorer, but he really is he really is a weak team merchant, isn't he? I really do believe that, and I believe he did this to Ipswich as well too. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he also had this type of game against Ipswich, and I think he did it against Southampton the first time around, if I remember correctly. I love my good old wine. A good Pinot Noir is nice. I'll give the wine crowd that. With a good steak and a nice little glass of red Pinot Noir, 100%. I'm in on that. As Ramsdale finally gets this one away. And here's Southampton trying to cross midfield. It looks like they're trying to find an outlet down the right-hand side. They do. Do you think that currently this is our best lineup? 100%. I do. Does that make it one of the best lineups in the league? Probably not. But for Tottenham Hotspur and what they try to do, yeah. I mean, Ange Postecoglou absolutely loves Brendan Johnson, and he wants him to succeed, which is why he continues to give him so much run. At full strength, the only thing that would make this lineup better is Dejan Kulusevski. Not having Kulu working on the right-hand side is what hampers this team, especially when they try to force it up the left-hand side and there's no outlet in the middle of the park, which is where Dejan Kulusevski comes into play huge. Here's a 1v1. Southampton, as they try to play this around, that ball up, and there's Vicario. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, minus Dejan Kulusevski. Yeah, this is probably their at strength lineup. Imposter Imposter Noglu is the worst manager Tottenham has ever seen. I don't know about that. Who is the guy, by the way? Yeah, and we do have 3 minutes of extra added time. So Spurs go into the break up 2, unless they score within these next 2. I'm trying to think. Who was the guy that I'd have to look it up, but who was the guy after it was like the 20? Yeah, and then also Nuno didn't work out either. But yeah, but the thing about it is you have to respect Ange Postecoglou. That dude's a winner. And I'll die on the hill for that one. Doesn't mean I'm Ange. It just means that I respect him. And so does a lot of managers in world football. And here's Tyler Dibbling. Yeah, here's the thing, right? At the time when Nuno was the manager, not Nuno now with that ball's gonna curl out. Nuno at the time, not Nuno now, right? Because in retrospect, you can say that Nuno now is far and away a better manager. He leaves to Saudi, wins a trophy, and then he goes to Nottingham Forest. But at the time, though, and I do remember a lot of Spurs fans giving Nuno a whole bunch of shit. Guys, we winning. Let's take this and get ready for Thursday. Yeah. There he is. There's Derma. So we have, 7 minutes? The Spurs are going to press up the pitch. Nice little hold-up play by Solanke. Out to Sonny. Plays it back in. That's going to be deflected, but Sonny retains possession. And here comes Southampton on the break. He's going to lay it off to the left. And now Southampton will try to build out from the back as they switch it off to the right. Plays it forward. I think this is Dibbling. Try to cut in. And he's still dribbling. Yeah, this is what... See, by the way, this is what bugs me, right? Is closing down space. Oh, nice play by Pedro Porro. Nice pick. As he's looking for somebody to pass it to. And there's just nobody there at Southampton. Will retain possession. We ain't getting nothing against Frankfurt, I can guarantee you. Not with that attitude, Matthew. I like Solanke in his hold-up play, but yeah, listen, man. Could it be that a guy like Dominic Solanke doesn't necessarily fit this system? Right? Some guys are literally just system players. Like the truly great and consistent players can play anywhere else, right? It's the old adage in American football with quarterbacks. Some guys are just managers, and other guys can play in multiple systems, right? For what Postecoglou has them do, which is to be an ultra presser, to be tough in the build up, and then to try to get upfield. Maybe like the reason why he looked so good at Bournemouth because he wasn't asked to do it, so all he had to do was just make runs. But here he's asked to do a lot. There's a shot on goal, and there's Vicario. With Tottenham, he's asked to do multiple things as a number 9. But it's also worth mentioning that he doesn't really get a lot of service, right? And we don't really play up the middle of his park as a lot of other teams. We're usually attacking up the wings with our wing backs, and that's the build-up play. That's a nice little touch right there. As they're trying to play this one through the middle. Here's James Maddison, who's going to have to play it back. Like, I wonder what Solanke would be like in a Pochettino system or a Jose Mourinho system with what they ask their strikers to do, and I probably would assume that Solanke probably scores 20 goals. But when your attack is built out of the back from your wing backs and you're primarily attacking up the wing, you have to put balls in the box and they have to be accurate, and you have to have more than 2.5. I agree. I expect more from Matters. That's another guy that I've lost respect for. James, I've lost all respect from James Maddison. I don't think he cares about the club. I don't think he cares about his manager. I think he cares about James Maddison. I think he picks and chooses when he wants to show up. If Spurs get an offer for James Maddison this summer, I think Spurs should take it. As Spurs are trying to push up the field, they have a runner. And it's Jed Spence who's in the box. Spence! Ooh, that gets deflected out. Here's Bergvall, who heads it forward. Oh, that was nearly a goal right there. Yeah, I probably would too, Tequila. I think there is a group of players that actually do care about the club and do want to see it have success. I would think a guy like Kulusevski, Solanke, Vicario, Van de Ven, I think those guys care about the club. But I think they also come from different situations where they were probably brought up the right way. And then we go to the half now. It's 2-0 Spurs. So good first half, man. And I like the way the Spurs rebounded after the VAR decision to disallow a goal. They did not let it bother them. They did not let Southampton get into the game. They closed it down and scored another goal. So Spurs lead 2-0 at the break. This is exactly what you want to see from a Spurs team that I guess you could say had an embarrassing performance against Chelsea, more so against Fulham. But that being said, very good first half by Spurs. They're comfortably in control. Another 45 before we can actually start having that conversation about Thursday against Frankfurt. But as we turn to the chat here, Tequila316 says, I would say that about most of the team, not just Matters, and I would agree with you to an extent. Maddison has always been overrated, to be fair, to be honest, and I would agree with that as well, too. I think he's an incredible talent, but Leicester City fans were warning us when we got him from a relegated side. And there also has to be a question of what role did he play in that relegation as well, too. Because when you are a team, and I've been there, and I've been in clubs where teams have gotten managers sacked or where they finish at the bottom of the table, and everybody plays in a role in the good and in the bad. And it's a fair question to ask. My thing with James Maddison is he always takes himself out of the attack in certain positions, but most notably, it's like his best performance this season came in big games. Think about some of his better games this season, and it's coming up in a big game against an opponent that was worthy of him showing up. And that boggles my mind, considering James Maddison is a guy who wants to be in the England side. That is his ultimate goal. He wants to represent the Three Lions. That's understood. Well, if that's the case, one of the things that does not impress Thomas Tuchel is picking and choosing when you want to show up. James Joris says, it's why, honestly, I'm still slightly ANGE in, as I'm tired of the manager carousel. You get a new manager in, build a team, and then sack them. Yeah, but it's not just the manager, right? It's not just the manager. Because you can switch the manager and we're going to still be in the same problem 18 months from now. And I go back to Pochettino, right? When this team absolutely needed one or two more pieces to really put this team over the top, what happened? We did nothing in the summer transfer window. We became the first team in the Premier League era to not do anything without any type of transfer ban. And the team stagnated. And then when the team did stagnate, instead of recognizing that problem, you fire one of your best coaches that you've ever had in club history. And then you bring in Jose Mourinho, who tells you what the problem is, and you bring him players that don't fit his system, and then you fire him. Same thing with Conte. Both Mourinho and Conte both said it publicly. Like, it goes deeper than just the manager. And yeah, you can continue to cycle managers all you want. You can continue to do it, but that does not fix the problem. Then start over and have a rebuild. Okay. So he wants to. Okay. Thomas Frank or Areola will be our manager. It depends. It really does depend. And I will say this because it depends on who the director of football is. Right now, according to a lot of reporters, that Daniel Levy wants Paratici back, and if that's the case, and Paratici is the new director of football, then you have to let him decide which manager is best that he wants to work for. The last thing you want to do is either saddle him with Ange Postecoglou, who we may or may not have a relationship, or allow Johan Lang to pick the next manager, knowing that he's on his way out the door, right? So the first thing you want to do is make sure your director of football is in place so he can have that relationship and build that relationship with the manager that he sees fit. He wants to represent England in darts. That's pretty funny. Yeah, there's no way that he sniffs England at the moment. I agree with that. Matters is okay. Wayne Bonner says Matters is okay, but always needs to do more along the lines of the City away game. A bit of dull first half. Hopefully the second half will be a bit more lively. Yeah. Hit the like if you want to see Spurs win the cup. I think you guys. I think you would get 1 billion likes. I think everybody wants to see the Spurs do well. I know I do. Speaking of Poch, as a fellow American, it's crazy this talk of him back. That would be wonderful, but yeah, no. Like, he's like, so there's two conflicting things, right? Because Pochettino has already said that he wants to come back to Spurs, but he's also made it clear that he doesn't want to do it now because obviously he's still the head coach of the U.S. men's national team. But not to mention the fact that, for instance, let's just say that Spurs wanted him now. They would have to pay something close to $20 million to get Pochettino out from underneath his contract. That's something U.S. soccer will never do. Not with it being a year before the World Cup on their home soil. So that's not going to happen. Let's, if anything, that it will be in the summer of 2026 after the World Cup before you start, before we can actually realistically start talking about Pochettino back to Spurs. Yeah, like, it's weird. I get back to the whole conversation of why did they hire Postecoglou to begin with anyways? Because if the goal is to build a team with young players and to develop the next core, then why wouldn't you hire a manager that reflects that ambition? Because when you look at Postecoglou's CV, yes, he's worked with young players, but all of his teams have always been with the average age of 27, 28, and he's had larger squad sizes. We're talking like 35 plus, first team squad numbers. And it's because, because the way he plays, there are going to be injuries, but that's why you have large squad sizes, so you can constantly rotate and you can keep guys fresh. And it's something that Tottenham has not done. And being around this sport for as long as I have, I can tell you that when you hire a manager, you do talk to his former clubs and you do ask what are some of the things that made him successful. And those teams are going to tell you that these are the things that we did to set him up for success. And I can guarantee you that once they were turned down by Arne Slot, and they were turned down by who's the guy? Nagelsmann. They were turned down by Nagelsmann as well too. I guarantee you that they were desperate, and they just turned to Postecoglou as a move of desperation. And it almost seems like they just were like, they would say anything to get him through the door. And they did. And I would probably assume that Postecoglou had certain things that he would not have came unless you did A, B, and C. And I do believe that he was sold a bill of goods. And it's obvious because you look at the transfer business that we've done. How many outgoings do we have versus incomings? And how much of those incomings were, good veteran players that actually have a winning pedigree? That would be zero. So there you go. But that being said, we are about ready to start the second half. Spurs lead 2-0. And for those that are tuning in and wondering where Dermotron is, he is still getting his internet sorted out. So he should be back sometime, hopefully. James Joris says, excellent point. Who would we get in after Ange? It doesn't really matter. We're still going to have the same problems. And it's too bad, too, because when you look at this team, there's a good core. There's a very good core to which to build upon. Van de Ven, Kulusevski, Archie Gray, Lucas Bergvall, Dom Solanke. There's a group of guys that you can build around. Jed Spence, Pedro Porro, Destiny Udogie. Like the foundation of a very good team is here. It's just having that ambition to build around those guys with players that are, that have that experience. You know what, like, let's say that their summer businesses, of course, I'm just speaking tongue in cheek, but let's say they get Cunha from Wolves, they get Pulisic from Milan, and they bring in Eberici Eze. And maybe they get Hujan from Bournemouth to replace Kudi. That right there is an excellent starting 11. That's a very excellent starting 11. That's the type of ambition, or even I'll take it to a next step, like getting a guy like Nico Williams from Bilbao. That would be ambition, because you get a just an unbelievable young player who has that killer instinct and who's going to be around for at least 5 years. Like, those are the type, like, if you're going to go young, you want to go young correctly. It's not Matisse Tell, it's Nico Williams. And it looks like there he is. There's Derma.
No, not for long. My internet is playing up. If you would have saw me, I've got about 4 or 5 cables. I look like Cable Man, but I have been watching the game. I've been impressed. It's been a good first half. We've played well. I thought Johnson had a good half, to be fair to him. I thought the team played well. That VAR decision, that should nowhere take as long as it took.
No, I mean, he was onside. That's my problem. Yeah. It's like you're correcting problems that weren't problems to begin with. He was onside. Yeah.
He was, but he was offside because of Ben Davies at the back was offside. His arm was out. So he was offside. Right. He was. But if you had the automated offside system in, that would have been sorted out within 2 seconds.
100%.
It's
either they're
I
on
counted
or they're
it.
off.
Yeah, I counted it right on my phone, and it took 5 minutes for them to come to a decision to come. It was offside. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. But can I say, big up to you. You're doing an absolutely brilliant job. Absolutely. Guys, please get in the chat. Please thank this man, because he's been a lifesaver for me today. I don't like throwing people in the deep end, but I've had to with you today because I've gotten. But it's so far so good. My internet seems to be working all right at the moment. So far so good. There's been no glitches. So I may join you for the second half if that's all right. But I'm going to let you do the main commentary. I'm going to be the co-commentator on the tactic side of it. I'm not going to show my camera because it's just I've given up with OBS today. I've given up with everything technology today. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I don't think Ange. I think he needs to make a few changes at halftime, take a few players off. I think for Thursday in mind, or would you be inclined to keep the same 11 out there? But also, do hit the link though, guys.
Yeah,
do hit
absolutely.
This link.
Go over to the channel, hit the like and subscribe button. We're over 200 now, and I want to thank everybody who has hit the subscribe buttons. The quicker we can get to 500, the more cool stuff we can do on the channel. But no, I would keep the same starting 11. One of the things you want to do is keep this momentum coming out into the half. Within the first 10, 15 minutes of the half, if they haven't scored a goal within the first 15 minutes of the second half, then you can start making substitutions right around the 60, 65th minute. But you want to keep the momentum going, and you want to see if you can pop in that third goal and really put this team to the sword. Because as of right now, yes, Spurs are in control, but it can also go wrong if Ange pulls the trigger a little too early.
Yeah.
You want to get that, you want to keep that momentum, and you want to see if you can get that third goal. And the one thing you do want to do is continue to control possession and continue to put shots on goal. But the biggest thing right now is getting that third goal and putting this thing away. And I know that James Jura says take Johnson off as he's reached his goal quota for the next few months. That's funny. But if he's the only guy that's providing, if he's the only one that's providing, then let him continue to do it. Right? I'll give Sonny and Madison a little bit of credit because they've actually been very opportunistic in this match. But also, I want to shout out Lucas Bergvall. Bergvall has actually played incredibly well today. That the bravery he's shown as well too. But yeah, I would come out with the same 11.
Yeah, I would too. But no, please give this guy a big up. He really has helped me out today. And I'm so proud to announce that we are from the new season, we are going to be linking up as a sister channel to iAmerican. It's going to be great for us, great for Steve as well, great for us because it gives us another leg to the greatest brand in the world, THFC till I die. And I think it's the right move. You took really good sense on Tottenham. You really do. You're not backwards and coming forwards. Is what we need. The players are back out. Johnston is out there for the second half. It will be Southampton to get us off and underway. So, Steve, over to you, man. And then I'll just come to you when you want to bring me in. But over to you, sir.
Absolutely. As Southampton will control the possession to start the second half as they punt one forward. But quickly, as the ball goes forward, does Tottenham regain possession? And Vicario now will hold it as he plays this thing out to the left. And here's Ben Davis as he plays it forward to – it looked like Jed Spence, but it was Sonny who's going to take it as he marches forward. Plays it over to – oh, that's a good diving stop right there. As he had Jed Spence flying up the left side. And now all of a sudden Spurs are trying to trap Southampton. And they get the ball back, and it's James Madison who gets pulled down to the turf, and there's a whistle.
Yeah, for a good start. I think James Madison's played well today. Actually, he's put in a performance.
Yeah, usually he finds his way out of the attack by dropping way too deep and playing the 6. But he's been pretty good. He's been pretty good today. Ooh, that ball's going to get played forward from Vicario.
It is. I'm going to see, can I get my camera working? Because
for sure.
I will.
Bergvall, James Jora says Bergvall has been our player of the year. I don't know, man. To me, it's been between Kulusevski and Archie Gray. But just for what Archie Gray has been asked to do, I think he's done more for Spurs this season than Bergvall. But that's not to disrespect Bergvall at all.
I think Jed Spence has been our player of the season. I think more for a redemption story than anything else.
Yeah.
To come back in and do what he's done, I think it's been remarkable.
Do you know what I asked this question to Dave, and I'll ask this to you as well too. The emergence of Jed Spence, what he's been able to do, does that make you a little bit more comfortable if somebody comes in and makes an offer on a guy like Pedro Porro or Dustin Udogie, knowing that you have Jed Spence? Or would you rather keep those guys intact and Jed Spence just gives you competition at both positions?
No, I'm quite happy. It makes me quite comfortable that we've got somebody like Jed Spence there. I think he's quite capable of taking them out, doing the job. And yeah, I've got no problems. If you want to sell your doggy or Porro, I wouldn't have a problem with it, to be fair.
Yeah, I think Jed Spence has done such a good job that now he's I think he's earned his right to be a starter. If that makes sense to you.
It does. It really does. Just trying to sort out. I look like a ghost at the moment, by the way.
As long as we can hear you, man, it's all good. If Southampton's going to be trying to attack down the left-hand side,
it's all about professional for me. It's all about professional and how we look at the channel.
Ooh, that's a nice ball in from Southampton, but it was quickly blocked. The Southampton does regain possession in the middle of the park as they play it out to the right. Jed Spence 1v1 looks like against Dibbling here. Oh, nice play right there. That was a good little poke right there. As Spurs are trying to press to get this ball back as they work it around the left-hand side. Here's Porro 1v1. Tries to get around the corner. He does. Ball in, deflected, and Spurs will regain possession right there. Good defense.
Yeah. Very good defense
right
there and good work. Yeah. Oh, shouldn't have done that.
You're good, man. You're good.
I was trying to get the scoreboard back up and running. Yeah. No, I'm really happy today. Really happy today now with this performance in now. And it's a good performance as well.
Yeah, this is exactly what you wanted to see, Jeremy. After two losses, one of them was a bad loss to Fulham. We can argue about whether or not they played hard against Chelsea. I think in individual performances they did, but back-to-back losses, then you take advantage of what Southampton is, and going into the breakup too. That's exactly the response you want to see.
It is.
And I was worried about the VAR decision, whether or not they would fold after getting a goal taken off right there. So it looks like Southampton is going to be here at the corner. James Joris asks, so that brings us to Ange and our managers. Why have they not played Spence? Well, they have played Spence.
Yeah.
They played Spence quite a bit.
Good save.
Yep. Good save by Vicario right there.
It was. Well, guys, you're going to get a shock in a minute because he's back. The Dermatron is back.
Guess who's back?
He's here. He's ready.
Back again. Derma's back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? As Vicario plays one up the.
He's not back yet.
He's not back yet. The Derma de Million. Oh, that's it. That was a nice little play right there. But here comes Southampton on the break. Oh, good defense right there to block that away.
What I'm going to have to do is do that. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude. I've got the scoreboard and that up. So I need to get this set up with all this.
There it is.
Go on, you carry on, man.
And it looks like Southampton. That was a nice little block there defensively for Southampton as they regain control of the possession. And this is one of the things that kind of pisses me off a little bit is they allow Southampton to run right through the middle of the park. They don't close down space. The press is good, but in certain instances, they just allow them to continue to carry the possession up the field. That's a nice ball in. Nice diving stop right there by Rodrigo Betancourt. That's your Uruguayan stallion, right? That's the name that you have for him?
Yeah, Uruguayan general.
General, not stallion. Enoch out, Derma in, 100%.
I do give them some weird nicknames, by the way. I mean, they got the Welsh Dragon, so that's for your doggy, the Italian Stallion. There you go. That's the name from your doggy, the Italian Stallion.
Who's the Welsh Dragon? Ben Davis or Brendan Johnson? Because they're both Welsh.
Brendan Johnson. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Brendan Johnson's the Welsh Dragon. Well, Ben Davis is the Welsh Dragon. He's older, so you could call
so
Brendan Johnson the Welsh.
Johnson the Welsh Wizard.
Yeah, that's it.
How about that?
Oh, yeah. I tell you, I'm a bit worried at the moment. Yeah, I'm a bit worried.
The last 10 minutes, it's been all Southampton right now in possession, 100%. As they're gonna try to rotate this one around from left to right.
Yeah,
and they're gonna play this in.
Good. Just a quick question, you Tequila. It was a massive turnout today. I don't know the numbers exactly, but I know there was at least 3,000 or 4,000 there, at least. But a massive.
That is.
Which is good. Which is really good to see. Big up Tequila 316. Hope you're keeping well, brother. And I did send you a WhatsApp, so do get back. Let me know how you are.
The thing about it is I'm 100% fine with the protest, but I don't know, man. It's as long as you're continuing to buy tickets and merchandise and paying for parking and concessions and all that, you're still giving Enoch your money. And I don't know. To me, it feels like it defeats the purpose of a protest. There you go. That ball's going to get played forward all the way down the left. Here's Sonny in the box. Sonny,
run after the fucking ball.
Oh, Sonny, what are you doing?
What are you doing, Sonny? Standing there like a loose lemon on a night out in Glasgow.
At least Brendan Johnson hustled back to the ball, which is something Brendan Johnson never does. And that right there lets you know.
Dan Davenport.
Yep.
Yeah.
Big up, Dan.
Big up, Dan. Boy, hope you're doing well. And thank you, James. Very kind. He did say earlier you put Enoch out Dermatron in. Very kind of you, James Eater.
Yeah.
Very kind of you.
Exactly.
Here's Southampton in the box now. Looking for options. The pink merchants looking to come forward in their pink merchants. Yeah. The salmon is going down.
Is that, yeah, by the way, that does kind of look like it's salmon. There's Lucas Bergevall right there to cover it up as he's trying to play this one. As he's there you go. He loses the ball right there.
Oh, well done, Romero. Well done, Romero.
Nice.
Go on.
Nice. Play that forward. There you go. Here's Solanke trying to turn the corner, and he does. Look at Dom playing it forward. Numbers forward. Oh, he didn't just trip over himself, did he?
Seriously, Romero. He did, yeah.
He just tripped over himself.
Big up to everyone. 541 in the house. Big up to you guys. Thank you all for watching. It really means a lot to us all here.
Somebody's got an F1 question for you, Derma.
No, I haven't seen it yet, Dan. Don't tell me the result. Do not tell me the result. I haven't watched it yet. I will watch it tonight with my dinner. I'm looking forward to it. I've kept away from the result. I know who got pole.
Well, where is the race?
Japan, Suzuka.
Japan. All right, cool. I don't know anything about F1, so I defer all F1 questions to Derma.
Dan, the only question I ask you, was it a good race? That's all I'm going to ask you. Just a yay or a nay. So just put yay or nay in the chat. Was it a good race? Sonny, what
on that Sonny play,
he takes a shot. It gets deflected, and he just stands there.
I would like to see him cut back and cut in to try to find Solanke, who was running in. You had Solanke running into the middle of that box right there, and I think it probably would have been a little bit more advantageous for Sonny to try to find Solanke there. Cadillac American F1 team will be F1. So yeah, that's good. Good for Cadillac. I work for GM, so good for Cadillac. Yeah, Southampton's going to be coming down.
Did you work for?
Yeah, I worked for GM. Yeah,
you worked for GM, did you? Wow.
Yeah, out in Lansing, Michigan. Yeah, sure do. That's why I'm generally not available Monday.
Well, at the moment, if anybody needs wondering,
man, it looks like Derma.
It's a lovely day here in Michigan. The sun is shining.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day. You know, considering everything that's happened for the last week.
Do hit the like for our match day to our channel sponsor and private internet access. I seem to be cutting in and out, so I'm now going to bow to division. I'm now going to bow to the inevitable. I have to bow out. I have to let you take command, but I'll be in the background. I'll come in before.
Try to like it, because if it's a video, just try to go audio only.
Yeah, I will do. I'm going to close down everything. Go audio only. There we go.
And it looks like the Spurs will make a substitution as Betancourt comes off, and here comes Pape Matthias Sarr, who's going to come off, and it looks like Sonny's coming off for Wilson Odobert. Good substitutions at the right time. We're at about the 56th, 57th minute. So yeah, this seems about right. As I was saying at the half, it made sense to keep your 11 just to try to get that third goal. But I think on that play with Sonny streaking down the left was quite obvious that either he had nothing left in the gas tank. Actually, no, he really had nothing left in that gas tank. So good substitutions at the right time for Ange Postecoglou right there. As Southampton will retain possession. It's going to be interesting to see how they weave their way through this press. Because right now, it looks like Spurs really are trying to press that ball, and now they've kind of relinquished back to midfield. As Southampton's going to try to figure a way forward, and they do up the right hand side. Here's Dibbling. 1v1. And I don't know how you guys feel, man. I'm a big fan of Wilson Odobert. I think Odobert is absolutely fantastic.
I am. I love him. I absolutely love Odegaard, but here's Southampton now on the break, trying to get a cross in straight into the arms of Vicario.
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 He's my brother. He's my brother, Vicario.
Yeah.
Second cousin to Mario.
Yeah, he is. He's the head of the Italian mafia.
Yeah, in his brother Vincenzo.
There's the Southampton manager trying to direct Salmon to go right way up the stream. It ain't working, mate. There's Ange. It's who we are, mate. It's just who we are.
It's who we are, man. It's who we are,
it's
mate.
Who we are, mate.
But I'll tell you what, who we are today is actually a breath of fresh air because Spurs
let's not get ahead of ourselves here, Steve. We are playing Southampton, by the way, the worst team in the Premier League.
Yeah, but this is what you're supposed to do against the worst team in the Premier League. You're just supposed to put them disorderly.
Well, we didn't do that against Leicester or Ipswich, did we? And teams like that, to be fair.
Yeah, but
I know you're getting that. You are right. You are right in what you're saying.
Oh, by the way, he says, FYI, you need to edit Southampton in the scoreline. Oh, yeah, you have two H's. You have two H's in Southampton.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Dyslexia
is
a bitch. It is a bitch. So dyslexia is a harmful bitch. Thank you, guys.
She is a harmless bitch. She is a harmless bitch, isn't she?
Yeah.
So right now there's a whistle on the play, as looks like that was on Pedro Porro, the guilty party. And Southampton will take possession. And Pedro Porro just straight up trips a dude. I hate the acting jobs on some of these players because he gets tripped up the foot, yet he's holding his diaphragm like he's out of breath. Good Lord, man. Bad acting jobs. Here comes Southampton as they're trying to press this one down the right. And they'll take it centrally. And he lays it off. And Southampton resets here. As this one goes to the left now. Last time they went left, they were able to get around the corner there. As there's a ball to the switch. To the right-hand side. Oh, nice cut in. Ball deflected. Nice cut in right there.
It was a very nice cut. Do you know some really good players for Southampton here? That they are actually really good players, actually. It's just, I think the Premier League's just a step up for them. There's Walker Peters, of course, formerly a Tottenham player as well.
Yep. Formerly Tottenham. I completely agree. I think individually they have some nice talent, but one of the things that I will give them credit is they haven't quit. They haven't quit today. They are playing hard. They are trying. But I happen to agree with you. I think the Premier League is just a little too much.
Yeah. As it stands, Southampton will be relegated today. Will be relegated, which is a shame because I would have liked one of them to stay up, but just they're not been good enough. And look at that bit of skill! It's a free kick there. I think the referee. Yeah, go on.
I was going to ask you. Do you remember when? I think it might have been 2005. It was when Peter Crouch left Aston Villa for Southampton, and then Harry Redknapp came in mid-season and saved them from relegation.
Yeah,
I think that might have been 2005. And Peter Crouch ends up going absolutely ham sandwich the rest of the season. And he ends up with Liverpool, if I remember that correctly. I could be wrong on the years, but it looks like Richarlison is on the sideline. Looks like Richarlison is going to be set to come in as well too. Nice to see Richarlison back. As that ball gets out, and it'll be a turnover. So it looks like Southampton's trying to break quickly.
Yeah. As I said, I love Richarlison, but I always found him, he's a small fish in a big pond at Tottenham or at Everton. He was a big fish in a small pond, if you know what I mean. At Everton, but Tottenham, they've done a professional job today. It's a professional job. They've come out. They've done what they've had to do. Second half's been a bit poorer, to be fair. I think 100%. We haven't played as well as we did in the first half, but I think players are now starting to get tired. It's getting to this part of the season where we as a team where levels start to get low. But look, a job's a job. They've done their job. It's important Thursday now. Thursday's important. We've got to win this on Thursday. And we're going to win it well.
Yeah, I mean, it was important that they came out and started quick to gain some of that momentum. And if Spurs do their job and hold on to this and keep a clean sheet, that will that will mean everything to this club. But I will say this about Richarlison. The biggest issue with Richarlison here at Tottenham is the fact that he's always been hurt. When he has played, he's actually played pretty well. I date back to last season. I think he had 12 goals in 12 games in the small amount of time that he played. But that being said, it's like, for me, that dude just can't stay healthy. And the best attribute a player can have is availability.
It is. You're all right. And Southampton are making a couple.
Yeah. Oh, Will Smallbone
will both come off, and Smallbone, Irish international, and Wellington are coming on as well. I've been keeping an eye on Diblin as well, by the way, who we're linked to. He hasn't impressed me, to be fair.
Here we go. Here comes Solanke. Oh, nice shot on goal. As the defenders were converging on Solanke, he was still able to get one off right there. Oh, look at Solanke being chippy with Ramsdale right there.
Get up your ex-schooner. Go back to Arsenal where you deserve to be. Go on. You want man enough to fight for your play. Oh, it's a free kick to Spurs. It is a free kick to Tottenham.
Yeah, looks like we'd like to detail. Let's see if that 50, 60 million buy. Well, they haven't bought him yet. He's still on loan. There is an option, but I actually think that they should decline the option on Matisse Tell. I really do.
Yeah, I do. I think our medical team has an awful lot to answer for. And maybe that's a stream we can do maybe in the summer is look within the club, maybe the hierarchy, and we look at the director of football and the medical team and try to work out where's it gone so wrong. Because you know yourself, organizations work on people all working together, all working for the same goal.
Yeah. They're also pulling in the exact same direction. And that's something that Tottenham has yet to address their medical team. But I think what it came down to was there was that report that Matisse Tell was joking around in training, wasn't playing hard, wasn't training hard. And there's one thing that Ange Postecoglou, here's the free kick, and that gets deflected. Spurs retain possession. Let's see if they can play this one in. That ball's kicked out of bounds. The thing about this is it's one of the things that Ange Postecoglou requires is your absolute dedication in training, right? Yeah. This is not something to play around. And Matisse Tell coming in from a different, from a different country. I understand he's 19 years old, but one of the things you cannot do is when you're in the building, you take it seriously. And if you're joking around and you're not giving your 100% when it comes to training, you're not going to find yourself in the match day squad. And I don't blame Ange Postecoglou for keeping him out, keeping off the pitch. I wouldn't either. If I was in a position, I'm like, you know what? I vouch for you. I'm the one that got you on the phone when Levy and Lane couldn't do it. I was the one that wanted you here, and this is how you repay me by joking and wasting my time.
Yeah. Big up to Mr. Simpson as well, member as well. Big up. It says, hold on. Are we about to win a game? We are, Carl. We're about to win a game. Knock me down with a feather. We're about to win a game. Big up Matthew as well. Damn, since how many months after that we're going to see a win? I know. It's going to be a weird feeling.
We're gonna see a win on Thursday.
Yeah, we are. Do join us, of course, on Thursday as well for the best watch along in town. I will have my internet sorted out by then, guys. I do apologize, and thank you again, Jay and Steve, for coming in and taking the reins, man. I really appreciate it. It's really appreciated. And I apologize throwing you in the deep end like that, but
you're not throwing me in the deep end. The one thing that I'm going to be a little bit sad about is the fact that weekday games when it comes to Europa League, they have an earlier start time to the point where unfortunately I'm not going to be able to get on the call because I'll be at work. But that being said, there's still plenty going to be talk about come Friday, come Saturday, this upcoming week. Where we
definitely. Also, if you can before then, send us over your pre-game thoughts and I'll put them up in the channel. If you want to do a 5 or 6, 7 minute video for me, send it to me. Send it over to me, and I'll put it up on the channel for you, man.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good.
Dermot, you got an end? No, I haven't. What it is but we got 2 internets in our house. We got Virgin and Vodafone, and there seems to be a problem today with them both. And I can't speak to one because the other one is shut. They're closed on the Sunday, so it will be sorted out tomorrow. It's not engineer. I've had to put a new cable in an internet cable, which is a 6A category 6A, which is supposed to be better. But enough about my internet problems. Here's Spurs on the break. Go on.
Hey, by the way, that's funny that you mentioned you have Vodafone. I've always wondered what that was. I know that Vodafone used to be the main shirt sponsor for Man United, and I was like, is that a cell phone? Like,
yeah, they do internet, television, mobiles. They're very big over here. Well, they're very big, and they used to sponsor Ferrari in Formula One as well back in the day, and McLaren as well. Dan says, where can I find you, Steve, YouTube channel wise? Well, we will be putting the links in. Steve, you can put your link in, man. There it is. Right there. Do get there. I don't know how many subs.
Well, hold on. That's not right. Sorry.
I need to big up to everyone that's watching, by the way, guys. Really appreciate it.
It is. Oh, yeah, there it is right there. Yep. Stateside Footy 27 on YouTube. Go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. We do a lot of Tottenham content as well as U.S. men's national team content as well, too, for all you American soccer fans out there. Yep. So we do a lot of stuff on the channel. Yeah, it's good stuff, man. For all those that were wondering what happened to the U.S. men's national team under Pochettino in the last window, well, U.S. soccer happened. So it sucks. But what are you going to do?
Yeah. Come on. He's on 202. Let's get him to 210. Come on. Let's get him to 210 by the end of the stream. If you're watching on X, come on over and find it.
Actually, you know what? Let's not stop at 202. Let's get it to 500. Let's get it to 500 so we can do some really cool stuff with subscribers.
Yeah.
USMT America. That's funny.
Yeah. We will. What I love about this, we're going to be covering because Steve lives in America. He's going to a lot of the World Cup games next summer, so we will be doing a lot of World Cup stuff live from America as well. So Steve's going to give us a lot of stuff, even from the World Club Championships this year in the summer, guys. We've got that covered as well. But here's Jedi Spence trying to wage his Jedi magic.
Oh, man, he had Brendan Johnson. There you go. They finally get it to Johnson out there on the wing. He pops it in. Oh, and it gets over the head right there. Oh, Spurs look kind of disjointed there. Oh, nice. Look at Bergvall. Look at Bergvall.
I'll go on Odegaard.
Here's Odegaard.
Go on, Odegaard.
He's trapped. Oh, yeah.
Is it Odegaard? Is it Odegaard or Odegaard? Odegaard. I keep calling him Odegaard.
Here comes Southampton. That's the thing. It's like, you're absolutely right? They spent the entire Spurs did a very good job pressing in the first half, and I think you might be right. I think maybe the gas tank might be a little empty.
Yeah, it looks like it. Southampton have had more of the ball in the second half.
Yeah, but it paid off. They got the 2 goals, and it should have been 3, but it is what it is. Yeah. So I like it. But that being said,
what worries me, if Southampton get 1, there's the danger Tottenham heads might drop.
Right, and that's that's exactly right, and that's why I like this. The 3rd goal is essential right here. Like, they have to figure out a way to get that 3rd one in, because at that point this match is over. There's no way Southampton's going to erase a 3-goal lead. But at 2, yeah, you're absolutely right. You worry about that first Southampton goal, but it looks like there's a whistle on the pitch right here. It looks like it's going to go against Bergvall, who is the only guy that shows guts, who's willing to make those tackles.
And Southampton making another double substitution. Diblin's coming off, who I've not been impressed with, by the way. I wouldn't pay that. He's not worth 100 million. No way near.
Did you hear the rumor that Southampton are going to ask 100 million for Dibling?
Yeah, that's what I just said. He's not worth that. I heard that a while ago. He ain't worth 100 million. No way.
I understand the value that Dibling has to Southampton, but there's no way in heck that he's worth 100. Like, I'll give you a good example. Like, this last summer, Bournemouth were interested in Josh Sargent of Norwich City, and they were only asking 40 million. And he was really only worth about 20-25. But the 40 million evaluation lets you know just how much value he has to the club. But Tyler Dibling, $100 million. Are you kidding me? Like, we joke about the England tax, but it's like, are you serious? 100 mil?
No. Sorry, I'm just
There he is.
There we go. Yeah.
Oh, there's
don't
the
worry
green
about.
screen.
Yeah, don't worry about my little friend in the background poking around the corner, looking at you. Don't let him scare you. Don't let Mario scare you. He's making a rare appearance on the channel. No,
Mario?
my missus got me that. Yeah, my missus got it for me for Christmas.
There you go.
Full-fledged Mario, like.
There he is. There's a Mario.
Now you see him. Now you don't. It's gone away.
That's funny.
Yeah. No, I must send you a picture of my setup, man. It's not right. I'm not happy with it, but I will get it right one day. But
yeah,
the green screen's the best thing I ever bought, actually.
Yeah, you and me both are working on our setup. I got to get a new microphone, and I'm thinking about getting a new camera as well too.
Yeah, I'll tell you which camera to get. I've got one. I'll send you the link to the ones I'm using at the moment. The microphone is new as well, and that cost me a fair few quid. But the camera I'm using only cost me €30 on Amazon. And it's
cool.
really, it's got its own light in it as well, so it's great for green screen. There's Ange with his hands in his hair, trying to do the impression of the YMCA. He got stuck at Y.
Young man, there's no need to feel down. I said, young man.
That's what he's singing on the touchline.
I said, young man,
who got stuck with Y
and put the ball in the back of the net.
Oh dear. I can see you, me going to a game together, getting into a lot of trouble, Steve, somehow.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that happens, man. I'm waiting to hear back on the passport, and hopefully I get that passport so I can book tickets to England, man. I'm really interested in seeing a North London derby at the
well, they're playing in Seoul. One of the questions it's about a preseason friendly. We've got one in Seoul, and we've got Newcastle at the moment going to be in Hong Kong as well. I think it's Hong Kong.
I thought Newcastle. No, I guess it's not Newcastle, because there's 4 teams that were part of the Premier League Summer Series here in America.
Yeah,
and I'm just every year I'm hoping that Spurs are going to tour America. That would be the dream. Like, do I want to fly to Seoul, South Korea to watch Spurs?
You get a North London derby.
Yeah, that's not the same though. But the question is would I pay money? Would I pay money to go see it at the Emirates? And the answer is no.
No. I worked on that stadium, by the way.
Oh yeah?
4 years I worked on that stadium.
Yeah, it's not high.
They had security guards walking around in plain clothes, so the sack people that were writing anti-Arsenal stuff.
That's weak, man. They were sacking people for writing anti-Arsenal things.
Yeah, it's quite funny. Can you hear me all right still?
Yeah, you're a little choppy, but I can hear you.
Yeah, no, it's just that I'm actually going through my TV, so let me just change. My headphones died. It's just everything's gone wrong today.
Thoughts on Your Cup Dilemma, aka Your Cup Gate? I hate the fact that they call it Your Cup Gate. any scandal with the word gate attached to it, I'm 100% out. Because it was much to do about nothing. Like it really was. It looks like Archie Gray's
better, man? Is that better?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, it's just that my headphones have died, and I can't be asked to go and get the other ones, and I'm going to use. I'm going through my monitor.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. You're a little choppy, but I can still hear you, and you are coming in clear. But I will say that the only thing I had a problem with Ange Postecoglou when it came to the year cupping was the fact that, the one thing fans don't like is to have their intelligence insulted. So it's like, if you're going to do it, then in the post-game press conference, just fess up to it and just be like, you know what? Yeah, I'm sick of hearing it every single week. These fans don't see how much I put into the club and how much passion I have for Tottenham Hotspur, and to hear the abuse. So yeah, I cut my ears. So be it.
Yeah, again, guys, sorry about no final score after here, because my internet, I've got to do a lot of work after the stream with my internet and making sure the cable's working fine. So it has been pushed back. I'm hoping for Steve to join me tomorrow, if you can, Steve, at 10 my time, which you said you might be available for.
If it's like at 5:30, 6 o'clock my time, which would be 10:30 your time, I might be able to jump on. I usually don't get home, and I don't get home from work until about 5:30ish.
Yeah. Well, I've put it on for 10 GMT. If not, I will put it back to 8 when we normally go live. But I think just to get you on, because you have done the watch along to this game, it's worth getting you on to get you ready opinions on it. And we will do a player ratings video as well for you guys.
Sure.
There will be a video out with our game thoughts after this. We'll do a 10-minute video after this to get that out today for you guys. Me and Steve will give our pre-game thoughts and a post-game thoughts on what we think. But there will be a player ratings video coming out tomorrow by me. And then tomorrow night we've got final score. We're going to go over the game. We're going to hopefully go over some tactics as well, Vanch's tactics as well. And then we'll be looking ahead to Thursday and getting the thoughts on that. And all the drama starts for Thursday as a Bergville comes off for Balloon Man Basuma, and then also Archie Gray, the English Bulldog. We've got the darts man and Steve James Madison coming off the pitch as well.
Yeah. So it looks like ANGE is. Yeah, it looks like ANGE is going defensive in his midfield with Archie Gray and East Basuma. So off comes James Madison, and then off comes Lucas Bergvall for Archie Gray and Basuma. And it's nice to see that Archie Gray is going to get some run in the midfield. I know that fans have been clamoring to see him in his natural position. So at least for the last 15, 20 minutes of this match, you will definitely see that. So I'm glad to see Archie getting some run.
Can you see? There's a question that was asked, and I know what I said to Dave, and I stick by what my source tells me, and I stick by what information I get, and I stand by it, and I stand over it. Always have to, always will do. But are you getting to the point? I'm getting sort of something in the far reaches of my gut that ANGE could be here next season. Do you know what I mean? There could be a way of, if we end the season well, like we started this last season, could there be a chance that they might say, do you know what? It's been one of those seasons. We'll give them another season and see where it goes. Or do you think the damage has been done so far with the ear cupping and the disrespect? And do you think? Well, how do you know what I'm getting at, though?
I know what you mean, and I'll say it like this. Yes, a lot depends on the final results of how this season plays out. Like if ANGE can get this team to a Europa League final, or at least a deep run into the semifinals, and he finishes the Premier League season strong, I can possibly see that. And the reason why I feel this way is all we have to do is look at last year. Things actually did not finish strong with Spurs last season, yet they still managed to hold on to a 5th place finish when the season literally was slipping away from them. So there's that. And then you have the injury crisis. And I don't care what anybody says. I've been around sports for so long. When you lose not just 1, 2, or 3 of your best players, but you lose like 8 of your best players and they're out for long periods of time, and you're forced to play some of these young guys who may or may not be Premier League quality, you're going to suffer greatly. So there's that as well too. But this is the biggest thing that I think is important, because you hear the name of Andoni Iraola and you hear Marco Silva and you hear Thomas Frank. All of these guys have contracts for next season, and they all have hefty release clauses. In order to get one of them, Spurs are going to actually have to pay anywhere between $8 to $10 million. So there is that as well too. And Tottenham Hotspur have
Hello. Boris has said that's not a pen. What's coming up? It's Boris ahead of us. We'll get to the super chat in a minute. Let's see now. Southampton on the attack. The Salmons looking to get a goal back, make the last few minutes interesting. Surely not. Southampton can get a draw out of this game. But he says it's not a pen. Let's see. Let's get our thoughts on it. Gets across now. It's Southampton. Southampton now looking for a crossing. Does get a crossing. Is that going to be? Oh, it's gone wide and it's gone out. What are you talking about, Boris? That's not a pen.
That's not a pen.
What do you mean, Boris?
Yeah, that's funny. But the crazy thing is that Daniel Levy has never paid a release clause to get a manager in, and I can't see him doing that now. And so if there's nobody better that's available, I can envision a scenario where Ange Postecoglou comes back for year number 3.
Yeah, maybe. But big up to James. Thank you so much for the super chat. I'm giggling because I didn't see it earlier. That's why I was giggling, because this is for Dermot.
This is for Derma's internet. That's funny.
It is, but thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate it. We've got it's the Jed Spence challenge in the box. They were checking it for a pen.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I didn't see any contact that would even warrant a VAR check, but
I didn't.
There you go.
Matthew says the ghost. Casper the ghost at it again. Man.
Here we go. Ball. Oh, here we go. Ball in.
Solanke's true.
Solanke. Just wide. Just wide. I like this. I like this. I like Solanke just being aggressive and putting a ball in the net. Regardless if it's wide, he's had 2 of these opportunities today where he's had just a little space and he just decided to put it on net. See, I prefer Solanke being this aggressive.
Yeah, I think Solanke's played well today. Big up to Wayne Bonner when he says give Ange to players ready to go, not kids, and see how he does. Finally back a manager. That's true. But look, as I said before, I've been told he will not
Solanke again.
Oh, he's lost it. I've been told that he won't get past the review. The review, he will leave after the review. So again, we could be.
So if Ange knows that the end is coming, why wouldn't he just have fun? You know what I mean? Like, there's no pressure anymore if he knows that he's not going to be here past the remaining of the season. So have as much fun as you can. And I also say that if you're going to get rid of Ange Postecoglou, then you need to get rid of Johan Lang and Scott Munn and get rid of this trashy front office as well too.
Yeah, and Matthew says, Ange, look, everyone's entitled to their opinion, Matthew. Just because if they're Ange in, Ange out. Look, I'm not Ange out. You calling me I'm in a cult then? You're saying that I'm in an Ange cult just because I'm not shouting from the rooftops, Ange out, Ange this, Ange that. I know what Ange can do.
Yeah.
I'm
neither Ange in nor Ange out. I'm Tottenham Hotspur in. Right. So I want what's best for this club at all times. And so if that means that it's Ange out and he loses his job and we get somebody in that can be better, I'm 100% for that. And if the decision is made that Ange Postecoglou is the right guy for this job moving forward, then I'm 100% for that as well too. Yeah, but you have to agree though that you can't let's just say that they decide to keep Ange Postecoglou in. They can't keep Johan Lang in, can they?
Oh,
he's got to go.
Yeah, I've been told. I've been told that the hierarchy there will be a change. Big up to James as well. Thank you so much. He sends us a $10 super chat. Big up. He says, Thermo in, Stephen, Internet and Ireland out. With the
out. Hey, by the way, Matisse Tell is about to come in too.
Yeah. A few people leaving the stadium and the south stand don't want to be there to see. Don't want to see the. Hang on, if I got the right. Yeah, that's it.
We're winning.
Yeah. But big up to James. Thank you so much for the super chats. Really appreciate it, sir. Really, really appreciate it. Look, I will have my opinion. I have been abused. I've been abused by other people because of my opinions, just because I have an opinion. I've been abused for it on X. I've been abused for it on YouTube. And
what's the R word?
I don't care. I don't care. I don't know what he means by that. Wayne, we don't use the R word.
I don't know what the R word is.
I'm looking through the chat. Wayne, let me know, man. Let me know in the WhatsApp group what he means by that if you can.
Nice save by Vicario. Nice save by Vicario right there.
Yeah.
That was point blank. That looked good too. Vicario with another world-class save right there. That was good. Wow, that was a nice move too to create space. And he straight up abused Wilson Odegaard right there. Created space, put a nice shot, and Vicario was there to deny. Brick wall. Southampton's doing a good job right now pressing.
Yeah.
As here's Porro trying to play it down the right hand side, back to Porro. As they will play this back. Spurs try to reset here. That goes all the way.
Yeah, we don't use that word, Matthew. My daughter had a disability before. My daughter passed away, was Down syndrome. We don't use that word in here at all. One iota.
Yeah, there's no. I think
I know what you're saying about Twitter. I get it. I do get it, but I find that word really offensive, and it cuts really deep in me. So we don't use them words in here. If you bring it in again, you will be timed out. I know you're a big supporter of the channel and a subscriber, but stuff like that will not be tolerated. One iota, and I will not stand for it. Everyone, you know, I don't care what people say. You do not call people that. Or yeah, it's well done. There's no need.
There's just no need.
Yeah, and I'll stand by any. I will. That's not what this channel is about. It's not what our chat's about. Our chat's a respectful chat.
Oh Jesus!
They just scored. See my point? Did you see my point?
Yeah, but you know what though? We're in the 89th minute though.
I don't care. It depends how many minutes are on. So
yeah,
no way.
Southampton gets one back.
Yeah, it just cuts me a big dick, Wayne. That's all. I just don't tolerate, and I like to. But it's sorted out. Wayne, apology accepted, Matthew. We carry on.
And that was a good ball in right there. The question is whether or not they were offside.
No, they weren't. They weren't offside.
And that was a great ball in too. They had two at the back post. That was a beautiful ball. Two runners at the back post, and the question is were any of those offside?
Right. If we draw this, right, here's the question to you. If Southampton, which has been done, which we've done it, look, Southampton are now, it depends how long's left, how long we've got. Does it mean it's gone up yet?
So here we go. We're in the 90th minute. And
how many minutes we got? How many minutes have we got?
It's 4 minutes. 4 minutes of extra time.
4 minutes was not bad.
It wouldn't have been as bad as if VAR hadn't fucked us yet again.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's funny. So here we go. Southampton's in possession. And this second half really kind of has been all Southampton. And by the way, again, at the back post, you had two runners at the back post, nobody covering. Jesus.
See, Southampton are really starting to. They're putting the pressure on. Look at that cross. That's a good cross ball. Good.
Nice by Pedro Porro. There's a whistle right there. Yes, there's a whistle. We don't do clean sheets even against a crappy Southampton. Well,
I agree with you, man.
Here's what I will say. Who gives a shit if the final whistle we win? Who gives a shit if it's a clean sheet?
I do. No, Keeler's right. We should be keeping clean sheets again. The one thing I will say, I agree with him on this. We should be keeping clean sheets against teams like Southampton. They're at the bottom of the league for a reason. We should be battering these 4 or 5-0. Look, it's a performance today, but it's just how our season's gone. It's been our season, hasn't it? Really, if you think about it. These sort of defensive lapses or this VAR nonsense, it's just been our season. It's just, I haven't seen a season like this since Jerry was in charge.
What I will say is that would I prefer the clean sheet 100%? But that being said, the most important thing here is the win, right? So as long as we get the 3 points, I'm good.
Yeah, no, I get you. I just want to change the scoreboard. So we'll get that up now.
So here we go. Southampton is trying to control things. We're in the 92nd minute here. They're trying to reset. Oh, that was nice cut into the middle. Nice layoff. Oh,
but
that's a nice way to clear it off. By Jed Spence.
The Jedi Master.
Well, in all fairness, we have actually taken off our best players. So,
and we've taken the foot off the gas as well, by the way.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So, that being said, it's like, you put on an ultra defensive team, and that's what you expect. You expect defense. And now
you expect it. Do you know what you're saying? You expect them to play it out. 2-0, tight, play it out. Don't concede, just play it safe.
93rd minute. That's going to go back to, there you go. That's going to go back to Tottenham. Southampton thought the ball was going to go out.
Or a goal. That's the thing. That is football. Only takes a second.
93 plus 30 as we wind our way down to the 94th minute. Come on, Tottenham, get the ball back. There you go. Oh, come on, don't make it. Oh, there you go. Here we go with space. As they lay it off right there. Oh, nice defensive play. They're calling for a penalty. Oh, and I think they're going to give it the penalty.
It's a penalty. Spurs have a penalty. Now, would this go to VAR? But it won't.
Is this an opportunity for Brendan? Is this an opportunity for Brendan Johnson to get a hat trick?
It looks like it, doesn't it? He's asking for
that,
it.
Oh, 100% that was a penalty.
That's a penalty.
Look at the tackling. Look at the tackling. Misses the ball, gets all foot. Brendan, and by the way,
I want to say this, Steve, right? I'm going to say this now. Botany, I'm sorry. I'm going to say this now. I have backed Brendan Johnson all the way. I have backed him. And for this is redemption for me. This is redemption.
Oh, it looks like Tell.
They're giving it to Tell. If Johnson is hat-trick, for fuck's sake.
You know what's interesting is that shows you the lack of balls from Brendan Johnson to take the ball away.
It does.
Number one, here's what I will say. And I firmly believe that Brendan Johnson's development has plateaued. I think he's comfortable, and I think he's gotten complacent.
He's not happy.
There's nobody there to challenge him. But
it's Tell.
Like, here it is. Bury this Tell.
Hang on,
Bury it. Just bury it.
Steve, now here's Tell. Ramsdale. A bit of eye contact. To step up.
Arsenal.
1, 2, 3.
Got it.
Back of the net.
And that's how you put a team to the sword. And that's how you respond. Spurs beat Southampton 3-1.
Let's be
By the way, I absolutely hate when players take penalties like that where they stutter step and then stop and then shoot. It's like, dude, just take your shot.
I just feel sorry for Brendan Johnson. He looks pissed, by the way. Brendan Johnson.
Yeah, he should. You can take the ball off. You can take the ball off Tell, and he should have to get his hat trick. And quite honestly, he actually kind of deserved to take that shot because if you noticed, as he was running in, he actually made that nice little move to move the ball out of the way, and sacrifice his body to draw that penalty. Like he should have been able to take that ball.
Yeah, Brendan looks shit. How can you tell? Big up, Dan.
But when you're, Brendan Johnson, when your social life is, revolved around dating a porn star, you really don't have a lot of morals to begin with anyway.
No. Here's Southampton now. I like Wayne's point. You watch, and that's it.
There it is.
It is all over.
There it is.
Tottenham get a win. 3-point line. Woo. We're back in the win away. Southampton go down. Steve's a happy Spurs fan.
Yeah, this is exactly what you want to see coming off the 2 losses. Get some momentum heading into Thursday. You want it like, was it perfect? No, but you got the 3 points and you get that momentum coming in. You kind of regain belief in the group.
You do.
You guys can get victories.
You can. Big up to Brendan Johnson with 2 today, 1 for Matez Tail. A good victory, a very good victory. Wayne says you watch Spurs take penalties and VAR will say the penalty taker was offside. Very funny. That's funny. I like that. Boris says we ain't Chelsea. We ain't being little bitches who takes pens. No, I think I understand Tell wanted to get his first goal. I also would have liked Brendan Johnson to get his hat trick. Why did Tell take the penalty? I don't know. Why did.
Wayne Boris says, well, he's a striker. That's why strikers are known to be taking main. But yeah, for sure. That's what strikers definitely do.
What I want to see is Ange going up to the South Stand and giving them a massive round of applause.
Yeah, I would love to see that. I would love to see Ange do that. That would be a nice little olive branch for him to at least as a gesture to say, hey man, whatever the fallout was after Chelsea, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Look. It's been a good game. I want to say you again. Thank you so much for doing what you've done today. I really appreciate it. The internet's been fine since. I think it's working its way back, but I will have to make some adjustments for tomorrow.
You're fine.
But no, thank you so much. So look, we will have a pre-match video coming out today. Me and Steve will be doing that straight after this. So Steve can give me an extra 15 minutes of his time. We will be doing that. But Ange says, personally, I would like to see Ange walk out the stadium and never come back. Hopefully this summer, I'm praying. Well, look, Tequila, you will get your wish. As I keep saying to you, he will not pass the review. And for what I've done, you know, the people who I talk to as well, they're never wrong. And do you know what? I have to show massive respect to Tequila here. In one way, he stuck to his opinion, Steve. All the way through, he's been adamant how he feels. He's been adamant how he feels about Ange. He hasn't wavered. He hasn't flopped. He's stuck to his opinion, but he's been respectful with his opinion. There's plenty of times he's joined me, Steve. Just very quick. Sorry, plenty of times he's joined me.
The question that I would have, Tequila 316, is what was your opinion during Ange's first 10 games in charge of Tottenham Hotspur when they won 8 of their first 10? What was the opinion then, right? Because one of the things is, like, I can appreciate consistency in an opinion because I hold the same consistency. But that being said, I can also change my mind. I'm not glued to one. I'm not married to one opinion, right? So for me, it's all about results on the pitch, right? So I'm just curious, like, were you Ange out from the moment he was hired? Did you just think he was the wrong hire to begin with? What was your stance when Ange was hired? That's all I want to know.
I think he was. I think he was Ange out from the very start. I mean, Tequila was part of this channel for a long time. Until he had to retire due to their health. But it says, I had no bias for Ange either way coming into it. I thought the players enjoyed the freedom they didn't have under Conte and Nuno. I became an Ange out after about a year. And that's fair. That's fair.
That's fair. I thought, I liked when it was first initially announced. I actually liked the hire of Ange Postecoglou, knowing his history in Australia, Japan, and in Scotland, but also the fact that he won a trophy with the Australian national team. That national team doesn't win anything ever, and he was able to get a trophy with them, right? So from the standpoint of respect, I have a lot of respect for Ange Postecoglou, but again, it's not Ange Postecoglou. Yes, he's done some things that kind of made me head scratching. When we went to Everton earlier this year, Ange, I think he kind of experimented with a back three in the first half, and then he pivoted after that first half. And by the way, we actually got back into that match late. But that being said, he's done some things that has made me scratch my head a little bit. But it's not just Ange. The players also have to take responsibility and accountability in this as well too.
Yeah,
and look at James.
It's a good win today.
Look at James Joris. Yeah, 100%.
We'll have to stop Ange in or Ange out. It's in and out. We all have to remember Tottenham until we die. We are one. And look, you know me on here, James, that I've never been more of an Ange. I've never been Ange out. I've always been Ange in the middle. If he's done well, I praise him. If he's done wrong, I will criticize him. And that's, I think, a fair, balanced way to look at it. But as I keep saying, and as I said on Dave's, and I keep consistently saying on here, enough is becoming enough. We can't keep going down the same well and trying to get something out of it when there's no water in the well. There's no point of me, there's no point, because when you go there, or there's no water, but why do I keep coming back to it? And Levy and I always say as well that it's Joe Lewis who's the billionaire. He's the one that should be pumping the money into the club. Daniel Levy's the one that has to find the money for the managers. And where I do get it, that is frustration. And I do also get it that we make enough money with all the other resources to go out and spend money, because we can spend so much off FFP and so much off PSR. I do get that too. But we have, somebody said yesterday, I think Drew on your show said we spent over $1 billion. But we haven't spent it wisely. We haven't spent it properly. And in my view, that is when you come down to your director of football, your scouting, and the manager. Everyone has to be working as one. And it seems Ange has one idea, Scott Munn has another. John Lang has another, and Daniel Levy has a completely other way of thinking, and nobody is linking up. Tequila said it right a while ago. It needs burning down and starting again. It needs tearing down. New manager, new director of football, new sporting director, and new owner, and everyone to work as one. And I think that's where
we're gonna get that. Because I do believe that there's going to be a takeover, and I think that's going to be a 3-year process. And something that you mentioned was that the first shares that are going to be bought are going to be Levy's. And that's a good start. That's a very good start. This is going to be a process. One of the things that I will say is that eventually you will get your wish that Levy will be gone from this club. But the one thing that I will say, though, is what I'm curious to see is how Daniel Levy will spend money that's not his. Because if you let's just say that it's a Saudi takeover, a Qatari takeover, whatever the case may be, and they pump a lot of money into this club as far as transfers go. It's going to be interesting to see what Daniel Levy's what he's going to do with money that's not his. Is he going to take a different stance when it comes to the transfer market, knowing that it's not Enix money that's on the line? You know what I mean? Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
I do get it. Very interesting. We have to see what happens, won't you? You have to see what happens. We have to take it from there.
But before we start, I was going to say, before we start talking about managers and who's going to be in next or whatever the case may be, the first thing that has to happen, the very first thing that has to happen, is Paratici has to come back to this club, and I want him to be the one to make the decision on who the next coach is going to be.
Yeah. Big up to the Real Yed as well. Big up Real Yed. He says, whatever he stands on Ange, he has not done a good job overall. Look, I get it. And I think if you look at it overall, we have to see what happens in the Europa League. If he wins that, then I think he has done a good job. If he doesn't win that, we have to wait and see. Everyone has different opinions. Look, I just think he's done an okay job. If he was working for you, Steve, and come to the end of the season, I think if he was working for your company, I think you would say you need to do better. But also,
100%.
I
would look at things in totality, right? Because in his first season, he has the injury crisis, and then in the second half of the season, he dealt with an issue of form. All right, but yet he still managed to hold on to a fifth place performance, even with all of that. And then in the summer transfer window, by the way, that wasn't on Ange. That has nothing to do with Ange. The business of bringing in talent resides with Johan Lang, and he let him down. And coming into the season, I remember saying that things had to break right for Tottenham to be in the same position at the end of the year, in that 5th to 8th range. Like, things are going to have to break right. They're going to have to avoid massive injuries, and they're going to have to avoid lapse in forms throughout the course of the season for them to keep pace of what they did last season and what happened within the first 2 weeks of the season. Dominic Solanke goes out after the first game. And then all of a sudden you started seeing little chinks in the armor. But that being said, through the end of September all the way through October, I think the Spurs won 7 of 8 at one point. So at one point they were in form before the entire wheels fell off. So in totality, I would say it's almost incomplete because we haven't seen Ange ball yet. That's the problem. We have not seen Ange ball in its totality at all since he's been here, either because we didn't have the talent in place or because of injury. So for me, it's like, okay, well, how would I address this? It would have to be a full review. But that being said, it's like, man, I understand the angst from the fans. I completely understand it.
Yeah.
I'm neither Ange in nor out. I just want what's best for this football club. And if that is Ange moving forward, I'm going to support it. And if it's somebody else, I'm going to support that as well too.
Yeah, I think also, look, I think the review will happen, and I think there will be a new manager, and we'll talk about that down the line, if you know what I mean. We'll talk about that later down the line. We got Audio and Austin here. We got afternoon chaps. A win's a win. Come on, you Spurs. Exactly. James says Levy is the chairman to make a revenue. Has been amazing that you count a new stadium, a new training ground, etc. But we need a football director who knows how to spend that revenue, and that's Paratici. The Keeler then says Ange has said himself, which he has said, he has the final say on players, so he's a liar then. I think Ange in press conferences this season, Steve, has sort of
he's running Ange by the way, understand that Ange runs cover for his bosses all the time.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, right? And I kind of understand how this works, right? So if a director of football comes up to Ange Postecoglou and says, "Hey man, I got this beat on Rando Kolo Omani. Do you want him? Yes or no?" And if Ange says yes, then yeah, he signs off on the player. But the initial intake of, "Hey, I want," like you've made this, by the way, Dermot, you've made this quite a bit with Alex Ferguson. Like if Alex Ferguson wanted Harry Kane or Roy Keane or whatever, he would just say, "Hey man, I want those players," and it goes and gets done. Ange Postecoglou cannot do the same thing in his role. He cannot say, "Go get me Kevin De Bruyne," or whoever. He can't say that and make it magically just appear. That's not how it works. There's a different chain in place, and it's like if Johan Langer comes to him and says, "Hey man, we can get Jonathan David. Do you want him?" Of course, Ange is probably going to say yes.
Well, he's free, isn't he? He's on a free in the summer.
Well, now he's free. Yeah, now he's going to be free.
Him, and who's the other player that's free? There's two players that we're after or on free transfers.
Jonathan David and who's the other guy? It's Jonathan David. I know who you're talking about.
I've got it in here somewhere. I'm trying to. I think I've got it somewhere in here. Find out. We will talk about that. That's something we will talk about.
I don't think he's alive.
Yeah, I can't think of what he's for. Liverpool.
Yeah, Angel Gomez. Angel Gomez. There you go. Angel Gomez.
Yeah. Liverpool lost today, 3-2 to Fulham. Chelsea. I think Chelsea have either drawn 0-0 or lost 1-0 to Brentford.
But how about Everton drawing Arsenal?
Yeah, that was yesterday.
Yeah.
It's Liverpool's league to lose now.
Sure.
Southampton is the earliest relegation in Premier League history.
That's interesting considering Sheffield United last year was absolute dog shit.
Yeah, don't tell me Chelsea are going to win this. Do not tell me Chelsea won it. Oh, fucking needed it. Matthew Dermo, if you were Levy, what would you do? Sell the club, walk out, and never look back. That's what I do. Just, Mr. Qatari, here's the club. Take it over. Do what you like with it. Ange, see you later, son. I'm gone. Right. That's what I do if I was Levy. Pick up your word. Here's a question mark. Could you play Ange ball in the Championship?
100% you could.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
And it would probably win him the championship too.
Yeah. It was Gomez. That was the other player.
Yeah. Yep. But I gotta say this though. I feel bad for Leicester City. I feel bad for a team that usually is a Premier League staple, and now they've been resigned to a yo-yo team. It's too bad.
See, I remember Southampton being a really main stable in the Premier League when it was formed back in the old days. We've got big up to James here. More than I think. We're currently an NFT on the dollars. Cowboys have an owner who thinks he knows sports, just needs to leave it to the experts. You follow American sports quite a lot, Steve. Is there a Levy type owner in American sports that you could compare them to?
100%, because the Dallas Cowboys analogy is actually pretty is pretty spot on, and I think everybody needs to understand that this is how professional sports teams operate now, because the television revenue is so good, and more people want to buy into it because of these revenue streams. They're able to get top dollar on their investment, and so a lot of teams operate off the standpoint of what winning actually looks like as revenue and profit. in club valuation. And if you look at where the Spurs were compared to where they are now, it's night and day. But as far as Levy goes, 100%, because Levy wants to have his hands on everything when it comes to football operations. He wants to be the guy to negotiate the big deals for the big players. Like that's, Daniel Levy likes to do that for young players. Like he would be more resigned to let Johan Lang do it, but for the big type of things, he wants to be the one to say, I'm the one that got that guy through the door. You know what I mean? And that's exactly like Jerry Jones, except Jerry Jones is worse. Jerry Jones is actually, drafts players and things like that. So at least he's a tamer version. Levy's a tamer version, but regardless of what it is, it's like that's so detrimental to your club because you're not allowing your football personnel to actually do their jobs.
Yeah, we're going to end off in this, and we're going to end off then. Leicester City have been more successful than Spurs over the past 10 years, so I feel sorry for us more for them. Well, I slightly disagree with you. Leicester have actually won the league. No, I forgot about that.
They won the league.
Yeah, they won the league.
And they won. And by the way, I think they won the championship last year.
They won the FA Cup as well.
Yeah, they've won trophies. So
yeah, we haven't. No, I get your point then, Tequila. I was thinking where you're going with it, but then I realised, oh yeah, you're right. Then big up David Clark. We're going to end up with this. Seriously, this coach of ours doesn't do the job he's meant to. I lost count of how many times the team comes out for second half and when we're front and the team comes out. And yeah, that's so true. And then Carl says Leicester have won trophies. We haven't. That is true. But we will leave it there. It is a 3-1 win for Spurs, though I haven't changed the scoreboard, but we have won 3-1. Steve, thank you so much for doing your commentary today. Absolutely fantastic. I apologize from my end. I feel I don't like letting people down. I don't like
you didn't though,
especially throwing people in dope, so I do apologize. But where can people find you? And as I said, we are linking up as our sister channel. So everyone go over to our sister channel. Put your link in there to our American sister channel, I should say.
Well, you can find me right there. The link to the YouTube is right there in the chat. Yeah. And I will do this right here real quick. And you can find me on X. Yeah. Hold on real quick.
But yeah, definitely do. Like the link there. Tomorrow will be me and Steve back on at 10 because that's when he's free. So he's watched the match today, and
you can find me on X right there at Stateside Footy as well too. So what I will say though is that regardless of how you feel about the second half, when we walked away with 3 points, and when we were on the brink, we get the penalty to make it 3-1. That's exactly what you want to see. That's how you respond to adverse situations, and I think Spurs passed this test with flying colors, creating momentum inside that group for Thursday.
Yeah. More coming up on this channel with me. I will be doing stuff on Monday, Tuesday as well, the build up for the Frankfurt game. Wednesday we'll have the pre-match. There will be a pre-recorded with the lineups out as well. Thursday will be properly back to normal, an hour build up before the game against Frankfurt, starting at 7, guys. And then we definitely will have final score afterwards. As I said, final score is tomorrow at 10 because I want Steve to come on because he's watched the game today, and I watched it as well. But Steve's got, he's watched it, so we're going to go through player ratings during the show as well. We're going to do that, but only on for half an hour, 40 minutes, because I know it'll be late for Steve as well. But guys, thank you for watching. Do us a like, hit the subscription, do the same for Steve as well. I'll leave up that is his YouTube link, so do hit the link there for him as well. Let's get him up to over 200 as fast as we can. Let's get to 500 as fast as we can, because the better for him is better for us. But I've got to do one thing before we leave, Steve, which I should have done. It hasn't been done. We're going to end up with this. Where is it? Take that off. We are going to end up with a message from our channel sponsor. Now, some say he's starred in many films like My Left and Right Foot. He's starred in also Honey, I've Shrunk Arteta. He's a very famous actor. He's even in the line to become the new James Bond, for what I'm hearing. It is, of course, our absolutely biggest Doncaster fan, Colin O'Callaghan. No, in this column, you'll know in this column. We're just like winding them up. But he is in the line becoming new James Bond. I could see it happening. I could see him saying column. Doncaster column. See, he's a big Man United fan as well. So we'll be praying for Man United to do him a favour. But before we go off, just a little word from my channel sponsor, Private Internet Access. And here it is.
Let me talk to you. A little reference there. But I'm going to stop messing about. I'm going to talk to you about Private Internet Access, the best VPN in the land. Now, when you're online, you may not realise, but all of your data is there for the taking by anybody. With a VPN such as Private Internet Access, your data is safe and secure, streamlined, and nobody else can get hold of it. That's why I use one anyway. VPN's very easy to use. Private Internet Access, all you got to do is log on your phone, select where you want to be. So I want to be in America, and I click go, and there we are. You can also link up your devices to it from your phone if that is easier for you. It's available on a lot of platforms as well, as you can see, and you can use it for a very, very big range of things. So that's even better as well. You can use it, like I said, on all your devices, smartphone, tablets, gaming consoles, and stick it on your modem, and it's unlimited devices. One equals all. It's available all across the world, and it works perfectly. What they do is they mask your IP address, so pesky 3 o'clock kickoffs aren't an issue anymore, and they're independently audited, so there's no logs, 30 million customers, and 4.5-star Trustpilot rated excellent review. Private Internet Access. Get yours now.
And there you go, guys. Well, listen, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much, Steve. Again, man, you've been an absolute
it's my pleasure, man. It's my pleasure, and I do want to thank. Yeah, I just want to say thank you for the hospitality, my friend.
No problem. We enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. Guys, that is it. We will be back tomorrow at 10, so do look out for us then. Yeah, whatever you do, enjoy this. Let's enjoy this victory. It is against Southampton. The Stains have got marching down back to the Championship. Spurs go marching on. 3 points. That's all we want. And is he going to become Lazarus and come back from the dead to lead us to European glory? Who knows? But all we can say is, come on, you Spurs. We'll always love you.
Come on, you Spurs.
You Spurs.
Some lanes are far and wide, with the pride of the fight. On this journey we'll